just calm down, okay? Everybody calm down. We're starting. There it is. New rule. If you're a cop who embezzles money from a youth organization that teaches children about law enforcement and then stages your own suicide, tries to make it like a murder so your family can get the benefits, then all of your money should go to an organization that teaches kids to be criminals. That's right, the public school system. It's the Overdose Talk Show. Are we allowed to do this, Andrea?
You know what? We're not making any money, so yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, as long as we don't make any money, which we never will.
Don't give us any money.
It's November 5th, 2015. This is the Overdose Talk Show. Me and Darcy here in New Orleans, and Andrea via Skype up in Chicago. David Box will probably be joining us later, right?
Yes, yeah. Definitely.
That would be neat.
So this fucking dude that killed himself and tried. All right, first of all, let's just recap it for anyone who's not, stayed up with the story. This was the guy in Fox Lake, the cop who was killed, and gave some vague description of 3 guys or whatever, and that spawned
2 white, 1 black.
Yeah,
that was the description.
It spawned a multi-million-dollar manhunt all over the place, right? Just a huge fucking drain on everything. I don't try to get too indignant about tax-paying stuff because I don't pay taxes, so that's why I just don't try to comment on it too much because it seems hypocritical. But so. Anyways, huge drain on taxpayers, whatever. And since then, it's been this really quiet, hushed, investigation that we haven't heard much about until they finally just came out and said that, yeah, he staged his own suicide. And then it's been a fucking avalanche of just weird shit this guy's been up to.
It's unbelievable.
First of all, he's embezzling money from this fucking youth organization, right?
Right.
And it teaches kids to be cops, I guess. So,
yeah.
All right. He's doing the right thing for the wrong reasons. We'll say. And, he's fucking involved in all these weird scams and stuff. He tries to put a fucking hit on the some administrator who was going to audit the organization that he was stealing from. And he just sends it in a text message. And then he deletes them all from his phone thinking that's going to be, that'll be that.
What do you mean delete doesn't delete?
Yeah. Took care of that.
Yeah.
Done and done.
It's like every single time they look at any aspect of his life, something weird comes out about it.
So he sends a text message to some lady, right? But they haven't said who it was yet.
Yeah, unidentified woman.
It's probably his wife, because now people around the investigation, I guess, are leaking to the media that his wife and son are implicated in the embezzling stuff too.
Well, it had to be a lady who was friends with the biker gang.
Is embezzling the right word even?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah,
okay.
That's right.
But what? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it was obviously a woman who was friends with the biker gang because that's who he wanted to do the assassination.
What do you mean?
It just seems like it would be odd if the cop's wife was like good friends with the biker gang.
Oh, so there's.
So I assume
how do you know it's a biker gang?
Because that's what the article said. Was that
he wanted? Gang member.
Okay.
High-ranking gang member.
Yeah, I didn't see that it was.
I saw biker gang.
All right.
It made it more interesting to me. The bunch of bikers.
The text message literally said, one of them literally read that he wanted to contact a, quote, high-ranking gang member to put a hit on the village manager.
Why would anyone talk like that?
All in one text message.
Why would it have to be a high-ranking gang member? Like he's going to do a better job than the other gang members?
Well, yeah, I mean...
No, you put a gun in someone's hand, they shoot a person. I don't think that the high-ranking guys would even want to get involved.
Do it himself. He's going to take care of it, though. Some fucking 14-year-old is going to do it who doesn't know any better and can't get a life sentence.
Yeah. Man, this guy was
That's
creepy.
not true anymore.
He also tried to arrange to plant drugs on the village administrator. And then they found, after he died, they searched his desk and found a bag of cocaine in there, which they think was related to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw an article. It was packets of cocaine.
Packets.
Nobody has
I saw a thing
packets
that
of
said
cocaine.
that was unrelated.
They said they don't know if it's related or not to the gang, whatever.
Oh, they're investigating it.
Yeah, but he was probably doing coke. He was doing everything. He was having an affair, and then he got the fucking lady he was having an affair with to marry his son, so he could get extra money for his military benefits.
Yep. That's a weird one.
There's all kinds of shit. This is the hero cop that right in the aftermath, it was all, every media station just running fucking banners of like flags and fallen hero and all these graphics and everything, and just members of the community are solemn today after losing a true hero, a hero known as G.I. Joe. Doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you guys are fucking morons.
A hero to the children in his community.
How do you know? See, this is why it's just safer to just talk shit about cops all the time. It will usually pay off.
Yeah.
You're just playing the odds,
9 times out of 10.
Yeah, so, what else was he doing? He's fucking talking that lady into marrying his son. What else? Oh, and I don't blame him, by the way, for having an affair, because his wife is a fucking elephant.
I haven't seen pictures yet. Look,
Look, I got pictures right here. I sent Andrea a link to the...
Yeah, you did send me that link, didn't you?
You can look it up, Melody Gliniewicz.
Ooh, that is bad.
Or no, Melody. Did I say that right?
She
Okay.
looks like the
Yeah.
Honey Boo Boo mom
Yeah.
She does.
with like the 6 chins.
Pure Midwest glory.
They were calling it a sham marriage. What was that about?
No, that's the son's
Oh, that's
marriage.
the son. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Dad pushed the son into marrying his mistress.
Dude, all of the pictures of this guy, like, now that you know all this stuff, like, man, he just fucking fits the bill. He's just like an adrenaline junkie fucking douchebag looking guy,
Yeah, and now that I'm imagining him doing coke, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. He looks like he'd do coke for sure.
Yeah.
In this one picture, he's wearing a shirt that says, "I jump out of planes and kill people." He's got a picture of a parachute on it. That's kind of cool, actually. I would probably like to wear that shirt just for the fuck of it, because it's weird. But yeah, there's another picture where he's strangling this fucking lummox that he's married to.
Wait, he's strangling her in a picture. Is it like a ha ha ha?
Yeah, it's like a joke. But now that everything's
now
in
you know
context,
behind it
it's
he
kind of
means
just
it.
like, yeah, this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
She is a big fat piece of shit.
Well, and now I don't know if you guys have gotten this, but I have, since all of this news has come out about this officer. I've seen so many people who claim that they're making it up, and they're saying, oh, they're dragging this officer's name through the mud for no reason. There's no evidence of this happening, whatever. Have you guys seen this, where people are like literally just denying that any of this stuff is true?
Why don't you let his family heal and let his
Yeah.
memory
Well,
him rest in peace?
To be honest, it is kind of strange that it took 2 months for any of this information to come out.
Well,
And
the
that he
coroner-
had supposedly been investigating the police chief, like been put on the case to investigate the police chief the day before he died. It just seems a little suspicious.
Yeah.
he was put on to investigate the police chief for what?
Well, that's I can't
We
really
did the story on the show.
find that much information on what the police chief
Yeah, remember he
supposedly was involved in,
He
but
was supposedly appointed to some internal investigation
yeah,
thing.
because
Right the day before he died.
yeah, the police
right.
chief and another unnamed officer were put on paid leave pending an investigation of something that they won't really state. I guess there was an altercation between the police officer and
The chief.
Well, no, not the chief.
Oh, okay,
A
whatever.
police officer and a prisoner. Like they took this guy in for public intoxication, and they had a physical assault, and they didn't feel like it was handled correctly. So the police officer and the police chief were put on paid leave pending investigation. And I had seen somewhere that they asked G.I. Joe to look into it, and then the day after he was dead.
Right. Yeah. I remember doing that story on the show for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that.
Which
I
no one's
remember.
talking about that anymore because now apparently he's a piece of shit, and we shouldn't care about that.
Okay, well, do you think that any amount of this story that's emerging now could be made up?
Yeah.
Do you think?
I don't know. Like, why
Dude,
would they? This is some weird shit, though. Having your son marry your mistress for money,
They seem
that's
like
fucking
scumbags,
weird.
but I think what probably could be getting left out is that there were other guys doing the same shit and everybody knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow maybe they figured out a way to pin it all on him or whatever.
That's
you know?
probably
And-
what.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. Is that there were many officers involved, and now they have their fucking cop out. You know, nope. No pun intended.
Okay.
Sorry, I stopped myself.
Oh, you're an asshole.
I know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just seems very strange that all of these things were happening right before then, and now we're not talking about that at all because of all of these new things that are coming about out about him.
Yeah, and to me, I don't know. It's still strange. I don't know. It's still strange that he shot himself in the chest. I know he's trying to stage a murder, so maybe he needs to be able to stay alive for a few minutes so he can throw the gun away. And Andrew, you said he was alive when they got to the scene, but I keep reading that he was dead when they got to the scene.
Oh, I haven't heard that yet.
different things.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever.
So I don't know which is which, but the point being that if he was alive, it wasn't for very long.
Yeah.
However, the gun was found within 3 feet of the body, which is absolutely droppable. You know,
Yeah.
he could have pulled out his arm and flicked his wrist and gotten the gun 3 feet away from his body as he fell.
Well, did they say anything in the autopsy? Because usually you can tell like how far away the gun was when you got shot.
The coroner, when this happened, like 3 days after this happened, the coroner released a statement that they had not ruled out suicide. However, they hadn't concluded anything at
Right.
that point.
And all of the pro-police groups and stuff were totally up in arms. How could you say that? This, just the fucking morons just starts, and I think the police chief said something about it at the time too, like that's a really irresponsible thing to say and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah, the police chief also initially reported that there were signs of a struggle at the scene, and then later came out and admitted that there were no signs of a struggle when they found his body, that they had deliberately misrepresented facts.
What is that noise?
I don't know.
Is everything okay?
It's
I don't know.
all right.
Yeah, but dude, why would he kill himself? He only stole 50 grand or something, it said. That's
Was
the
that
other
it?
thing, yeah. That doesn't seem like a kill yourselfable number.
No, and also if you knew that they were gonna catch you, did he think if he killed himself, all of a sudden they're gonna stop investigating?
Could he have been that stupid like that he And it said he also had multiple cell phones. So if you were going to frame somebody, you could maybe have some other phone that you're using to kind of work up a case against them, pretending to be them and stuff, or I don't fucking know. But it said he had like a bunch of different cell phones and shit, and he's just leaving this massive trail of evidence.
Yeah,
everywhere he goes, like, and he's a cop. It just seems fucking weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe he thought it was like a small enough town where he could just get away with it. Like no one would really notice. It's not like a big program, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it's big enough that $50,000
Well, that's
went missing undetected.
over 7 years.
You know what? The coke
Yeah.
would actually explain a lot of this.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're onto something.
If he was doing a lot of coke, and you know what I mean, and just kept making shitty decisions to get more coke and get more coke and get more coke.
Also gym
they-
memberships and adult websites.
Yeah, I've heard the things they mention him spending the money on doesn't really add up to.
They
Much.
did say that he paid off his mortgage or something.
Oh, they
Yeah.
did.
Or mortgage payments. And he didn't pay it off, but
They both drove nice cars. They took plenty of vacations.
dude, I see cops. I live right across the street from the police station, pretty much, and they have some really nice cars. And I don't know how they get these nice things. Like these are like $50,000
embezzle
cars that they're driving.
Yeah, they've all got shit going on the side, especially in a city like this.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't really know how realistic that is. Like how how easy it is for them to get away with like massive thousands of dollars kind of corruption anymore. You know, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It surely happens, but I'm not sure if it's fucking everywhere like it used to be. I don't know.
I have no idea. It seems
But
like
this dude was going pretty crazy. Just snorting coke and looking at fucking porn. Strangling his fucking seal of a wife. Strangling a walrus.
that sounds expensive to be able to strangle a walrus. You'd have to pay the. Okay. All right. I saw that face.
His kid seems like a pretty fucked up dude too.
Yeah.
The military one.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're definitely looking at him and the mom now.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are also saying that, well, first of all, the kid entered the sham marriage to defraud the benefit system from the government, so he's pretty much fucked no matter what happens. But the wife, they're pretty much saying, like, there's no way that you didn't know that he was getting money from somewhere else. You know, she's kind of guilty by association.
Well, and they're releasing a lot of the text messages and stuff, but not saying who they're to, but then sources are like telling the media these are to the wife, you know, and the son.
Yeah,
right.
I find that very strange. All of these articles that I've been reading, they keep saying unidentified police officer, unidentified woman. Like, why won't they release these names? Who are, like, is it just because they don't know enough about it
jeopardize
yet?
their investigation, or
really?
or they killed him and they're trying to control everything.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking, because it just seems like they're really keeping things under wraps here.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't think it's out of the. We'll have to again.
I can't wait to hear what else. I mean, this has been coming out all day and all day yesterday, all day today and all day yesterday. So imagine what else they're going to find. This has been only 2 days.
Right. Some of the shit was just like 40 minutes ago. We
Yeah.
just found out about it. So yeah, it's still happening. This guy was fucking going crazy.
Oy.
Oi? Did you say oi?
That's what happens when people go crazy.
Wasn't there some other cop that shot him or pretended to shoot at himself or some shit
Yeah, there's been a couple of them, believe it or not.
lately?
Yeah.
Do we have those?
Yes, Missouri. This cop called in a distress call. Let's see, Warren County, Missouri, called in a distress call claiming he was ambushed and under fire and claimed to have been attacked by 3 men and showed other officers who responded bullet holes that were in his car. And then...
Is this the one that says stolen valor cop? Or
yeah.
Okay.
And then they started investigating the incident and found that the bullet holes were from his own weapon and that he had shot his own car. And then they started investigating him, and he claimed to be like a Purple Heart recipient and served in combat in the Army. And then it turns out that he had made all that up. And he was in the Army, but not ever in combat. And then also on top of it, he claimed to suffer from PTSD as a result of serving in combat in the Army, which at first is how they explained him shooting holes in his own car. And then as they looked into it, they figured out that that was bullshit too.
These guys are all just psychos, dude.
So he's just trying to what? What was
He's
the purpose of this?
Trying to stoke the flame of social discord by inciting more cries about a war on cops.
Really? This guy was just hanging out in his car watching speeders one day. He was like, you know what? I'm going to incite a war on cops. Let me shoot my car up.
No, he's trying to.
It just seems weird.
He's trying to add to the hysteria.
Yeah.
It just sounds like
And
a
it is.
strange thing for
Well,
an
yeah, he's
individual to
crazy.
be doing.
Of course it is. Nobody's disputing that, I don't think. He's just fucking another crazy guy. Dude, I mean, we do all these stories because it's just, I like looking back over the year and see, and it's just like, we have covered hundreds of insane cops. Just fucking, just nutbags. And I think the end all be all of what we're doing here is we really believe that this job just shouldn't exist the way that it does, and shouldn't be, these guys shouldn't be as powerful as they are. So, we're just trying to keep fucking grinding on that angle. Oh, fuck. People are messaging me and calling me.
My goodness.
Hello.
Popular.
Hello.
What's going on? Can you turn down the show in the background?
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to say that all you really have to do is figure out, do you want to walk around and carry a gun and be in charge? What kind of person does it take to want to do that job? Right?
Right.
Or am I wrong?
No, you're right.
And,
You're not
then when a guy
wrong.
like this
Just an asshole.
steals a bunch of fucking money,
From
and
children.
probably fucks with everybody in
fucking
that little
orphans, man.
shit ass town.
Yeah.
Then they put on a big show that he's a hero,
I know. This
and
is
then
pretty
they
much what
find
we already
out.
said.
Then they find out that he's not. I mean, what the hell is wrong with this? Why is everybody automatically a hero?
You mean every cop?
Well, yeah, every cop, I see these things on Facebook about these heroes that are protecting my freedom. What the fuck? How are they protecting my freedom?
They're not, but we've made that point a billion times on the show.
I know you have, and you've made it very eloquently
Yeah.
and very succinctly, and I agree with it, but I just don't understand what is wrong with the fucking world. Why is everybody lumped? You get a costume and a little tin star, and that automatically makes you a hero. Until we actually investigate it, then we find out that you're a fucking asshole.
Right. Yeah, you got it.
I actually almost got into an argument the other day. It's not
Talk into your
I'm
mic.
talking. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Oh, I am now. Am I not?
Yeah, you are
it's
now,
not
but
about
you
cops, but
initially
it's-
you go, I'm talking, like,
This is very disturbing.
I apologize
fucking
for his
mic.
behavior.
talk
I'm
into
sorry.
your fucking mic.
No,
Yeah,
it's
what's
not about
wrong
cops,
with
but
you?
about the
Talking to your
military.
fucking mic.
I will. Talking to your fucking phone. I was talking about, we were watching TV in the bar because I was bartending, and Wheel of Fortune came on, and I started talking about how I hate Pat
You
Sajak.
mean you were tending bar?
I was tending bar. I was tending it quite
Yeah.
nicely. And I said, I hate fucking Pat Sajak. And this guy was like, well, he was a Vietnam vet. Give him a break. I was like, what are you talking about? He's a fucking asshole. I don't care if he's a Vietnam vet. That means nothing to me. But people
doesn't
do
excuse him
that.
for being a nerd.
People do that. Like, you're not
Baby
allowed to talk
killers.
shit. You're not allowed to be like, oh, I don't like that person. You're not allowed to say
And
that
where
because he
are
was a
the
vet.
Vietnam vets right now? Where are they?
Apparently,
they're
hanging out
all
with Vanna White or sitting in a
subject
bar
to a whole
drinking.
bunch of bullshit that they've had to live through based on a fucking lie, a documented lie. And where are
Buddies
they
did
right
not
now?
Die face down in
I
the muck.
don't. The restaurant that I work
Yeah,
at is across the street
On the
from a VA
L32.
halfway house, so they're all hanging out in my bar.
Well, you know what? I have a great deal of empathy for those guys, but
I understand
at
that.
the same time, where's the outrage?
Right here.
Where's the fucking outrage that they went over and did horrible things for a fucking lie?
For a paycheck. They're greedy.
Nah. Yeah, maybe they are.
Yeah.
Except for the niggers.
Jesus Christ. Why did that have to be what happens now?
It's just a
I
natural
just wanted to
progression.
say nigger.
Yeah, that didn't even make any sense.
You
No.
didn't hang up on him fast enough.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Wait, I have one more thing to tell you.
Okay, what is it? Ah, I can't believe I let him do that to us again.
Yeah, well.
He's onto it now, and he hangs up, and he sets it up too. And I'm like, oh good, he's setting it up perfectly for me, and I'm like getting all ready.
Really? I saw that that's what was going to happen.
Well, when he paused for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Andrea,
Yes.
fuck you. What are we talking about?
Uh,
What's going on over there?
we had there was another cop this past week who faked an attack on him too. We still talking about.
Yeah. What else was there with that shit? Because that's all very funny to me. We're really exposed. I mean, I've been saying since the beginning of this talk show that it's getting harder and harder for pro-police people to have any sort of logical argument whatsoever. It's all been fucking hashed out in comment sections and talk shows and everything else. You know what I mean? And at this point, like, the anti-police movement is pretty fucking sharp and pretty focused and pretty clear on the right and wrong of the whole situation. Mm-hmm. So at this point, they are just going insane. They can't abandon their ideology, but they're the part of them that's processing things logically is having to just invent different realities for this all to add up to them, and they're just they're just fizzling out. And it's just like when you give a robot like an unsolvable riddle and it just starts sparking and like fucking screws and springs flying out of it. Yeah. It's kind of like that is how I picture it. Anyways,
Yeah, I think that's a really good metaphor.
if you think about it.
Well, this was England, Arkansas. Sergeant David Hauser claimed to pull over an SUV and become involved in a shootout with a Hispanic man, wherein he was shot in the chest in his bulletproof vest. And then later he
Chest with my bulletproof vest.
later he confessed that never happened, and he shot himself in the chest and made everything else up.
What? And speaking of shooting yourself in the chest, going back. Oh, shut up. Going back to Joe Gliniewicz, he shot himself once in the chest, and it like went through his cell phone. And I think that's another hilarious thing. Like, he thought that would be the foolproof way to hide all those text messages and everything. I think he shot himself through his phone, if I remember right.
Oh my God.
Whatever. Is that all the cops that have shot themselves and tried to frame other people this week?
In the past week, yeah.
Okay.
Well, do you think this is like an attention thing, maybe more so than a inciting, discord thing?
No, I think, like I said,
This one sounds like he's just like bored and he wants a little attention, like a Munchausen kind of thing.
Munchausen.
Yeah, not by proxy, which is what everyone talks about.
What is that? Can you explain that?
Normally the people talk about Munchausen by proxy, which is when you basically hurt your children to get attention.
Oh, well.
But Munchausen itself...
called Tuesday night when I was growing up.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mom and Dad. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's
regular
hurting.
Munchausen.
It's hurting yourself or making yourself sick to get attention, which it kind of sounds like what this might be. Is that this guy was just bored and he saw other cops getting attention for getting hurt and was like, "Well, I could do that." I think it's maybe a little less than you're saying.
Whatever. I don't know if it's
right.
that. Now that you've explained it, I don't care.
All right. Well,
Do you care, Andrea?
No.
Alright.
I don't think so.
that's fine.
Although I don't think it's far-fetched to say that that these cops these things up to fuel the fire for the war on cops, because they have actually has been let me start that sentence over. There has actually been less violence against cops in this past year than in the past 10 years, and it's been steadily declining.
Yeah. Dude,
And now that And now that anti-cop people are actually starting to gain momentum and get organized and kind of everybody get together on the same page, I think that they're trying to find a way to keep people divided again.
I really do think the pro-cop people are hilarious at this point, too. Just assuming that the entire country just all of a sudden turned on law enforcement just for no reason, just to be crazy. That's like the level of denial you see. Because do you go to those like pro-cop Facebook pages just to read what people say and stuff?
I click on things sometimes just to get mad.
I go on there and it's just fucking brainless morons. Just like, oh, I pray for our protectors every day, and you know, all the people that have had bad experiences with law enforcement should stop breaking the law. Then it's just the level of detachment is just unreal.
And there's this refusal to understand that lawful is not the same as moral.
Yeah, dude, that's what it always comes down to. Remember my first show with the debate with the fucking paranormal team that turned out to be cops, and that was what it came down to in the end. Is they literally could not, they couldn't conceptualize this fundamental thing that's just one is legal and one is moral. And you could get them every step of the way to go, okay, I agree with that. Okay, I agree with that. Okay, I agree with that. So you agree laws aren't created for moral reasons necessarily. Yeah, I agree with that. You understand how lobbies work and how fucking big businesses profit, and we basically have a run-for-profit prison culture going on. And yes, I know that. Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. So you think enforcing all those laws is a moral thing to do? Yeah, I do. It's my job. Well, no. Yeah. And then you try to run it back. That whole interview, it was like me talking to like two kids that couldn't really understand anything, and like, just it is almost like fucking trying to deprogram a cult member. You know what I mean? It really is. Because I've done that a few times. Go ahead.
You deprogrammed cult members?
Yes. I will talk about it later. Just go on with what you were saying.
I had a conversation last week with somebody where I was trying to explain that marijuana is not an immoral thing to possess. It's just unlawful.
Right.
And he had such a hard time differentiating between the two that to illustrate his point, he said that it would be the same as reaching over to the person next to him and taking the stack of money from him. And I said, well, that's really not...
What would be? Smoking weed?
Having weed.
Having weed.
Wait, what?
I said there's a difference between lawful and moral, and that's having weed is victimless, and that's not amoral. And he said, oh, well, then by that logic, it's fine for me to take this person's money.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck is wrong with where were you? Where did you even meet this person?
Yeah.
This person is my superior at the place where I work.
Oh my!
Oh wow!
Christ.
Yeah, he also tried to tell me when I was talking about the use of force, police use of force. He told me, well, you have to compare how often traffic stops are made where no force is used, and then compare that to how often they have to use force, and I think you'll get a better scope of what's happening. And I said,
this guy sounds like a fucking tool, dude.
You want me to compare? Those are the things that you think should be compared? That's how you're illustrating your point? Yeah. So.
And that's how stupid people who are like pro drug prohibition and pro police have to be to even hold their positions anymore. Anyone with half a brain has realized this shit is fucking out of control and completely broken.
Yes. 100%. And I forget that those people are out there because for so long I've just like, I don't want to have this argument anymore. People are not super likely to change their mind one way or the other, and I just rather save my energy. And every time I engage, I'm surprised at how dense.
We've pretty much gotten to the point, and since that's why we've never harped on like the New World Order kind of stuff on the show, is because like we started the show going, okay, we understand all that and believe all that. We don't want to sit here and fucking show everybody 1 + 1 = 2 every fucking week. 1,000 times. There's other shows that do that. And it's kind of getting the same way with this. It's like, if you don't understand it, I don't know what more I can do for you, If you don't understand that that our law enforcement system is completely fucked, and that if you even participate in it, you're a fucking douchebag. I don't know what else I can tell you. It's just all terrible.
Yeah. Well, lastly in cop news, we have a string of break-ins in vehicles by the New Haven Police Department.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, no, they want to keep people safe. So they're identifying cops or cars that are vulnerable to burglary, and they're taking all the valuables out of them, putting them in evidence bags, and taking them to the police station and leaving you a notice that you can pick your property up. Now, what do you think this is a program like this is actually about? Do you think it's actually about that, or do you think it might be about looking for drugs and open containers and fucking guns and stuff like that in cars?
Well, that's obviously what it's about.
It's basically just searching cars with no warrants. You know?
So are people showing up and being angry about this?
Of course, yeah.
Well, and how are they getting away? They're just allowed to steal shit now?
This is the deal.
Has anyone tried to bring charges against them?
It doesn't matter.
No, I'm just curious to see if that would
Speaking
go.
Of that, is Melinda
charges against a cop?
I know.
Is Melinda going to call back again? Because she still can't get any results and anyone to look at her case.
Jesus Christ. I don't know. She said she was going to, but I told her a time in our time, and maybe she thinks it's a different time because she's in a different time zone. I'll message her.
Tell
we'll
her
see.
Just call us right now if she's around. All right?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the deal.
I like how it says, police will take what's valuable and kindly lock the empty car.
Yeah, right.
Oh, they're so kindly.
What if you're like my friend Patrick, who used to do the show with us, and you don't have a key to your car anymore?
Yeah.
So you just broke the fucking ignition, and you just have a fucking screwdriver in your own car, like you stole your own car. But he literally didn't have a key to his car, so if they would have done that, he could have just not gotten into his car. But that was that was the best when he just lost his key for like 3 days. He's like, dude, I fucking gotta go to work. I'm just gonna jam a screwdriver in there and just break the fucking ignition thing or whatever, And
how do you even do? I would have no idea where to start with that.
Yeah, well, he knew. He was from Cicero.
Yeah.
So he
car or two in his life.
Yeah. And he drove around like that all the time. And we used to get pulled over once in a while, too. They'd be like, and he would straight face as hell just be like, I don't have a key for this car. Here's my registration and my ID. I'm the owner of this vehicle. And it was also one of those ones where the windows wouldn't roll down. So when you got pulled over, you had to open the door and they would fucking flip out.
Aww.
Dude.
It's the perfect storm.
Yeah. That was the best.
I really like in New Haven that the lieutenant turned down an idea to put up warning signs because he thought it would make the town look bad. So they started doing this without any warning.
They just started breaking into people's cars and stealing their shit with no warning.
letting themselves into people's cars. They only go into
kindly holding their items for them.
Yeah. Get it right.
I can't. I don't understand how anyone is allowing this. Like, I would flip my shit. I don't understand. Well, I mean, I lock my car all the time. If I had a car, when I had a car, I always locked it. But I don't know.
Yeah,
that just seems so creepy.
It is. It's not their job. That's not what they should be doing. It is.
And that's the thing is like while they're breaking into people's cars and stealing their stuff, what else is going on?
It's very over the top. Probably nothing.
Well, yeah, but
although wait, Tacoma, some guy just got shot on the street a couple of days ago. Actually, who was a friend of a friend of a friend, and I saw it on Facebook, and he was like some kind of retarded guy who was like a neighborhood character, and somebody just fucking killed him.
Really?
And nobody couldn't even understand why, because he's not involved in shit. He just was one of the friendly, functioning, retarded guys walking around talking to everybody at the store and shit. You know what I mean? Somebody killed that guy in Tacoma a couple days ago.
Huh.
Speakman or something? Steven Speakman might have been his name.
That's too bad.
Yeah. So Tacoma might have some crime. I don't know. That's all I know.
Tacoma just raised their minimum wage to $12.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
chewing a pen that I just picked up off the floor, and it's got like
Gross,
lint and
no.
cat hair all over
You're
it.
constantly chewing on pens.
I know.
It's awful.
Well, I like to chew them
Waffle.
until the back part pops out. You know what I mean?
Really? That's your
Yeah.
goal?
The
To ruin all of the
plug,
pens?
the plug at the end. You know?
Yeah, no, there's
And then
just
you-
the ink cartridge of like 2 pens sitting on the table there.
Yeah, because I
he
chew them.
chews them and they fall apart.
Yeah, I chew them until the back part comes out, and then I chew that part until it's just like
You know what?
mashed into
My
nothingness.
boss
you
would
know?
be
Like,
really upset to know that I steal these pens and then you just chew them apart.
Look, he's really hungry.
yeah. Fucking starving. Give me a pen.
You want me to steal pens or food?
So what else we got? Is that all for the stupid police?
Yeah.
But basically, this whole thing is just to search cars.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Definitely.
That's all I would fucking. You don't really even need to discuss it any further. They're a bunch of lying fucking criminal scumbags, and they're searching cars.
I mean, how long do you think this can go on for? Someone's going to have to stop this, right?
50 billion years.
Uh,
I can't
Andrea,
imagine.
well, Tacoma just raised their minimum wage to $12 an hour.
No, Darcy asked you a question, dummy.
What?
No, I didn't because Vinny
Yeah, you
cut me
did.
off. I started a
on.
question. I was saying, how long can this can go on for? Like, the citizens can't
I hate
put up
doing-
with this forever.
I hate doing the show with bitches.
I hate doing this show with you.
This
Vinny,
show is
just get out of here. Let me and Andrea handle this.
That's a bad idea.
I know. It would be awful.
Don't go.
Seriously, don't start doing the like. I'm a bossy lady. You don't know what you're doing.
Well, you
Shut
asked
up.
me to be on this show.
Yeah, I
I'm
asked
trying
you
to
to
put
sit
my
there and-
input in, and then you yell at me.
No, you're trying
what would
to.
you like?
You're trying to have too much personality. That's the
Okay,
issue.
well, I will go.
and
I
like
could
you're
go
trying
smoke
to
a cigarette
you're
right
just
now.
trying to force a personality
very
that's
happy
just
with that.
awkward. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to try to get all like weird and bossy and like.
I
Hey,
wasn't.
let's kick him
I
out
was-
because that's cool. That's kooky.
Just trying to.
Listen up,
I was
ladies.
just
Yeah.
trying to
Right.
say a thing.
Bras. You know what I mean?
You
Oh,
think you're
those
running the
things.
show? I
All
can
right,
wield
fine.
some power in the workplace
Fine.
too.
Go on with your show. What do you got?
Just chill out, dude. You don't have to be like so weird and even when you're like now you're giving up all forcefully.
Yeah.
All right, go on with their show. Shut up.
Stop making fun of me.
Shut the
is what
fuck
I
up.
meant to say.
All right, Andrea, where are we?
The minimum wage, which is going up all over the place.
I keep seeing people all pissed off that they're worried that somebody that works in a fast food restaurant is going to get more money than they should. They're not even worried that they're going to get more money than them, most people. They go, I
Yeah.
went to college for this amount and I make blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and you just
Idiot.
shouldn't be able to have anything because you're a piece of shit. And what is the argument? I don't understand what people are concerned about. You know, you can still go work at McDonald's if you think it's that fucking great. Because they're getting $15 an hour. What the
Yeah,
fuck
and
is
it's such an
everyone?
easy job.
The fuck is everyone mad about?
I
I don't get it.
do not understand it. Not even a little bit.
First, though, there's also the issue of you shouldn't be working at McDonald's because they're going to treat you only as well as they're legally required to do.
Right.
So stop supporting that shit. You shouldn't be eating at McDonald's either. You're a fucking stupid douchebag if you eat at McDonald's. Just stop supporting evil. Just stop it. Do we need to go into all of it again? We've done it a million times on the show. You just
Yeah.
shouldn't support this type of a fucking business. Case closed, right?
Right.
You just it's so whatever. The whole thing is a moot point to me, but I don't understand why anyone's angry.
No, me neither. A person working minimum wage right now, which is $7.25 is the federal minimum wage for non-tipped employees. A person working 40 hours a week all year for $7.25 earns $15,080 a year.
Oh, Jesus.
I wasn't
Which
listening
is-
to any of
That's
that.
nothing.
$15,000 a year full time at minimum wage.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
There is not
That's kind of money I used to make when I worked in restaurants, and
10 years
man,
ago.
well, I'm trying to think of what I don't know, but like, yeah, when I used to make minimum wage way back when, yeah, you'd probably make 12 to 15 grand a year, you know, and to have all of your time and energy eaten up, and barely be able to pay rent, and then have anything afterwards, you know,
Yeah.
like. It is fucking garbage to work in the food industry.
And it is impossible to work a 40-hour week and afford a 2-bedroom apartment in any state in the entire country at minimum wage. It is in no way a living wage. You can't.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing. Why support the corporations that treat you that way? Why force them to go, okay, come on, pay me $3 more an hour and I'll still be your slave? You know, I don't understand that. I just don't get it. And it's only going to get worse. And people they always go, well, you know, in some towns it's not that easy to find a job and these are the only things around. Like, yeah, I get that. It's not going to be pretty and it's not going to be easy. But, like, it's if you keep just working for these people, the next generation is going to have an even harder time finding any kind of worthwhile employment. And the money and power is going to get consolidated further and further. You know what I mean? We have to pull out at some point. We have to pull out at some point. So why are you begging the government to protect you from a fucking person that then you're going to enslave yourself to? I don't fucking get this mindset.
Well, what do you expect these people to do?
I guess the catch-22 is that
What do I don't know. What did I do? I don't, you know.
Well, yeah, what did you do? A very intelligent, forceful. Yeah, never mind. That's not a real word.
Self-forceful.
Yeah.
But you're a very intelligent,
Force myself
purposeful
on myself.
person. There are people out there that didn't have the education that you did, that didn't have
What
the
education?
whatever. You know what?
the
You
fuck
were
are you
raised
talking about?
much differently than most people were.
Yeah, what education? The education I chose to get with the internet, everybody has, almost no
Okay.
matter how poor they
Whatever,
are. You know?
Vinny. You know that you're a lot better off in many ways than other people were. What do you expect them to do? You expect them to go...
Wait, in what ways am I so much better off than so many people? Honestly.
Well, you were raised in a family that that accepted and appreciated intelligence.
Okay.
That a lot of kids aren't.
Okay, fine. Well, then they need to fucking get hip. Listen to this show and figure it out.
All right. Well, they need to live in the meantime.
well, I also think that there is
Yeah, they need to live in the meantime. But do you get? I didn't say it. That's what I said. It's not going to be easy, and for some people, it might not even be possible immediately. But then take every cent that you can and put it towards doing something else and pulling out of these fucking places that treat you like shit. You know, something has to be done.
Yeah, I understand that.
Everybody can't just keep lying down. You ever heard the phrase "go along to get along"? See, this is why you can't do talk shows with bitches. They don't fucking get this shit. You know, there's a point.
Because we have a little bit of compassion for people.
No, it's because if you had real compassion for people, you would want to pull out of this whole system now before it got impossible to do and everyone's a complete
I
fucking
get where
slave.
you're coming from.
So it's not about compassion. No, you clearly don't.
No, I do understand where you're coming.
Can you talk in your mic for Christ fucking sake?
Well, maybe if you didn't have a thing that I didn't like to talk into. Okay. Yes.
See how
no.
stupid it is?
I understand what you're saying, and eventually, yes, we need to move away from these things, but people need to feed their kids right now. And in a lot of instances, they have to work at McDonald's.
I understand that.
If you had a kid,
So
you would
I'm saying
probably
they
feel.
should be
If you had a family to take care of, you would probably feel very differently about this situation.
No, I wouldn't.
No, your kids would just starve because you refuse to work at McDonald's.
Dude, you're just completely missing the point. I'm saying everyone should be doing what they can.
And some people, this is what they can do. Is try to make their lives a little bit better.
Doing what they can to get away from those places. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Hi, Andrea. What do you think?
I think I was going to say that if the if the bar is raised, if places like McDonald's and that are taken out of the equation and the bar is raised to create your own way of living, I think people will rise to the occasion. I think now, yeah,
And
people
also-
are stupid and they don't bother doing it because they don't have to. But if the stakes were higher, I think a lot of people would pull through in ways that we wouldn't assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just can't see just keeping it going along with this ever. You travel around the country and there's some places where it's like you can't get anything good to eat, and weirdly, a lot of these places are the places where they farm, and like you drive around when you're there, and it's like it's only just fast food and bullshit, just processed stuff, and Walmart and Best Buy, and that's all that's fucking there, But if we can't just keep giving into it. Eventually, we got to just fucking make some hard decisions. And it wasn't easy for me to get out of slave work, and actually start doing some stuff on my own. It's not going to be easy for anyone. It's just what has to be done eventually. And you can't think that it's just going to be whatever. You get my point.
Yeah, the problem is that the gritty, hardworking, pull yourself up by your bootstraps route is not even
That's called
close to as
life.
glamorous.
But that's freedom. See, that's everything. That's the whole deal. If you want freedom, you need self-reliance. That's the end-all, be-all of the whole argument. Because government and shadow governments and powers and corporations and whoever else that will collude to turn you back into a slave, to be part of a workforce that produces resources for an elite class, that will always be out there. There will always be that fucking sentiment out there. It's a sickness on this planet, and it's not going away. So that's the whole conversation. It's hard to have a good life. It's really hard to be free and be happy and have a good life. And if we ever achieve it on a mass level, it will be hard to keep it that way. We'll have to be incredibly vigilant to keep it that way, to keep the evil from encroaching back into fucking some authoritarian structure we arbitrarily create, just gradually through the erosion of whatever we create, like the Constitution, like it happened in the Constitution. That's my point.
Right.
So that's the whole deal. Yes. It's hard to be free and hard to fucking to shake your oppressors. That's just the reality of life. That's just life. 'Twas ever thus, 'twill always be.
Twillet?
Twill. Don't you think? Don't you understand that?
I do, yeah, I
It's
do
the basic
understand
paradox. You can be fucking fat, happy, and lazy, or free.
that. Yeah.
Cool.
I've
You
just
have
never thought about
nothing
it.
to say about that? I mean,
I've
any
just
of
never
you?
thought about it in such black and white
Doing
terms
a
before.
Talk show with bitches. It sucks.
No, I just think
That was
that
kind of the point I was making initially, which was that most people won't choose the hard route until it's the only route. And I guess how do we get to a point where it's the only route, where everyone wants to work hard and do what's right instead of doing what's easy? I have a hard time imagining a single step that we can take to get there. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Well, what's a step that you can think of that will?
It's just everything that's been going on with the increase in awareness from everyone over the past 10 years. What are you talking about? More and more
Well-
people are realizing this stuff.
And you think it's just going to keep accelerating at the same rate, or?
Yeah, well,
Because
truth.
more and more people are learning this stuff, and yet McDonald's is still paying their workers minimum wage.
Yeah, and they're also going fucking bankrupt. And they're not.
no, they're not.
They're not going bankrupt.
Yeah, they are.
keep
They're
saying
done
that.
for.
No,
Yes, they're history.
that's. We can come back to it if you want.
I know finances. No, seriously though, they're all. If you look, dude, whatever. We've forced into the market already so many different, more healthy, less poisonous options, right? What does a grocery store look like now compared to 10 years ago? 10 years ago, everything was fucking garbage. You know what I mean? And it was hard to find natural foods and stuff.
Yeah,
now it's
those
all
natural foods
the
are
fuck
really
over the
fucking
place.
expensive.
Not all of them, and
Most of them.
and so what? Who cares? They're there.
That's the thing is that
We're
even
forcing
if you
them
can
into the
find
market.
natural foods, you can't afford them.
That's not. It's getting better.
Okay.
It's way better than it used to be.
It is better than it used
But
to
we're
be.
also
and
finding
alternative
out that those
options.
natural organic
Are
foods.
you gonna please talk into the mic?
I can't just have it.
You can't have a fucking little outburst every time I tell you to talk into the mic. That's what you can't have. Go ahead.
All right. But also, we're finding out that those natural organic foods really aren't. They're just putting labels on things and charging extra prices. So
Yes, that happens once in a while.
No,
So
it
what?
happens often. And how do you? What do you do? Like, you keep going to that grocery store and buying those foods?
No. What are you talking about?
I
You're
don't know.
completely missing the point, I think. That's what's going on. But yeah, I mean, the point is, Andrea, there's been millions of steps taken. You know, truth is what it is. Truth is the truth. And eventually it will win out as information, hopefully, but that's why it's so important to keep the internet fucking uncensored, you know?
Yeah.
And all of that stuff, which we should probably keep looking into once in a while. We haven't done that in a while. But I don't know. That's why I didn't even understand your question. I'm like, what do you mean? What step could possibly be taken?
Yeah, I guess I just see so many people who claim to align with your method of thinking, but who still go to work and, work 40 hours a week, don't do anything for themselves.
Yeah, and don't try to get out of the slave class, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know.
And the slave class is where you exhaust all of your time and energy to get your bare necessities, basically.
Right. Which is more or less how it's just evolved.
That's
the
slavery.
payment system. Yeah.
You're given food, shelter, and a very few amenities,
Yeah,
in
just the
exchange for
basics.
all of your labor and making someone else rich. So that's the deal. More and more people are realizing that. And I get and whatever. So some of you can't move or get out of your fucking town where you only have 3 options and blah blah blah. Well, but what I'm saying is you should be doing anything you can do then, because everybody can do better. Like, everybody has vices and everybody has fucking shit they spend money on stupidly and whatever. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying is, in the best case scenario, we should be trying to take this shit down. Save your money, fucking get out of town, go work at something, some other family-owned place, and you can learn a trade and be appreciated, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do something where you'll be of value.
Yeah, and where you get something out of the
Post-government.
deal, and you're not just fucking slaving away for some 8 guys in suits way up at the top to make billions of dollars every year. That's my point. Don't sit there and beg the government to go, I need more money from these people that treat us all terribly and feed us poison. Like, just stop participating in that.
Yeah, just go somewhere else. Seems simple. Okay. Should we take a break?
That sounds lovely.
Talk in your mic, please.
I will talk into Mike. I would love to take a break
Why?
because I would like to have a cigarette.
Andrea,
Yes?
will you try to just keep the ball in the air for a minute? Christ, I'm trying to find
I
the
think
music
she's
and
doing
stuff. It's
pretty
like
good.
it's just silence. If I'm not babbling, it's just like silence. It's like I don't know what to do.
I babbled for a little while, but I can do more babbling. I failed to
Babble
mention,
away.
I failed to mention earlier that not only did Tacoma raise their minimum wage way up, so did Seattle, and Maine is in the process of doing it right now too. So I think this is something we're going to start seeing a lot more of.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't understand the economics behind it enough to have a super strong opinion, but I do agree with what you were saying about just fuck it. go work somewhere else, do something different. But I still think people should be able to earn enough money to live. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
work
but
for-
who's supposed to force who to pay what and why and why and why is that like? Don't you get it? They're shitting on you. You're a slave. Stop. That's the whole thing.
Just get out of there.
Stop it. They're not going to...
So if everybody
Whatever,
stopped
dude.
working at Rouse's, where would you buy your groceries?
I'm not necessarily talking about Rouse's.
Well,
I'm
I
talking
am.
about McDonald's.
Like okay, yeah, we're talking about McDonald's. We don't go to McDonald's, but we do go to Rouse's, where they probably get paid $7.50, $8 an hour.
Right.
Okay, so if they all stopped working there, where would we get our food from?
I don't know. We'd have to go to some other fucking place. What do you mean?
I'm just saying. There are. Well, you're not
Well,
contributing.
here's the thing. If they
you're,
stop,
you're
if they
still
all stopped
using
working
these
there,
businesses.
there's a few things that could happen. Seriously, there's a few things that could happen. Either these businesses will learn they have to give people real fucking wages that they can live on, and not $15 an hour.
Well, shouldn't you not shop there?
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then what are
So
you
what?
even fucking talking about?
What is your point? What are you talking about?
You're acting like these people
Will
are
you
stupid.
fucking talk into
You're
your fucking
acting.
mic?
I have had this mic an inch away from my face.
Everyone listening to the show can hear how much louder you just got. So you're just making a fool of yourself. So what is your point?
You're acting like these people shouldn't work in these places because they're not making enough money and they're slaves. But you
Right.
frequent these businesses and are contributing to these people being treated
I
poorly.
don't go to fucking McDonald's.
No, you don't go to McDonald's, but you go to other businesses where people are treated like shit. Just because you don't go to
People
McDonald's.
are treated like shit at every business.
Yeah, well, then
and that's
you-
the current structure of
like,
society.
what do you want?
This all changes very slowly, dude. Why? And first of all, why the fuck are you trying to trap me in some hypocritical
trying to
thing
trap
or
you
whatever?
in anything, but
yeah,
you're
you
saying
are.
that
You're
these
not. You're
people
not
sh-
having. You're
all
not having
you're
a
saying
conversation.
is that these
you're
people
just trying
shouldn't work there,
Dude.
Like, oh, if you don't like it, you shouldn't work there. Is
No.
basically what it sounds like.
That
you're
is
saying.
that is actually a really stupidly simplified
Really?
version
Okay,
of what
then
I
what
said.
are
yeah.
you saying?
Just like how an idiot would
You're
portray
saying
what I said.
what
But-
then? What are you saying?
I'm not going to repeat everything I said
Okay.
because you had too much to drink. That's like I'm not going to do that because I pretty much explained it in detail enough. Didn't I, Andrea?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
got
feel like
it.
you said that these people are slaves to this society that is.
You have
forcing
if
them-
you don't talk in your mic,
You know what? I don't.
you just can't. Like you have to talk in your mic.
All right. Well, that's fine. Never mind. I'm an idiot. You win. It's fine.
No, see, dude, this is a show.
No, and no,
Be
it's
an
a
adult
show,
and
but,
keep
like,
talking.
It's just so frustrating because yes, these businesses suck. They treat people like shit, but we all rely on them. How do you propose
I
to
know.
fix that?
Well,
You're just saying like you got out of it, so why doesn't everybody do
so
what you do?
when we go to Rouse's, who are we actually supporting?
What is Rouse's?
It's a
Yeah,
fucking
it's like
grocery
Jewel.
store. The
It's
point
like
that she's
Jewel.
making is so far off the mark. I mean,
I don't feel that way. I feel like you're
I'm talking
discounting-
about not fucking working for and supporting places that are clearly evil. You're talking about a fucking grocery store that probably has 20 locations, and it's
no,
like
there's
dude,
it's just like any other large grocery store.
okay, who gives a shit? The point is that what you choose inside a grocery store has a much larger reverberating effect than your choices at a fucking drive-through fast food restaurant.
But it doesn't
we go
get,
to Rouse's
it doesn't get
and
the
we
bad
buy.
boy more money.
So then he should fucking quit. And if all of them
And do
quit,
what?
then dude, I don't fucking know. But
Exactly.
since you're asking, but I know it's not. My argument doesn't depend on me having a hypothetical job for the bag boy. You're not like
Well, I'm
making
just
any
saying
point that makes any
that-
fucking sense, dude.
I'm just-
no. Listen to me for a second. If all the fucking bag boys and all the cashiers quit, well then guess what? If Rouse's wants to keep their fucking doors open, which they do, they'll have to come up with a new business plan that allows for better fucking wages for their low-level employees. That's the deal. You don't ask the government to work with fucking lobbyists that all influence all this shit and go, hey, what's the littlest amount of money we can give these fucking these whiners so that they'll just shut the fuck up for another few years. That's not what you fucking do. Do you get the fucking point now?
I thought the point was that these people shouldn't be asking for higher wages. They should find other jobs. That's what it sounded like you were saying before.
But you're breaking it down like to a ridiculously simplified fucking thing to try to make an argument out of it. That just doesn't make any sense. Andrea, what do you? I mean, are you?
I just don't find it fair for you to say, well, if you don't like how much you're getting paid,
you
why
have
don't
to
you
talk
go
in
do
your
something
mic,
else?
or I'm going to kill you.
I'm not far away from my mic.
I don't care. You need to point your mouth at it. That's the deal. You need to point your mouth at it while you talk, and that's
I haven't moved.
Don't argue about it. I'm just telling you because you weren't doing it. I'm not just doing it because I feel like I'm losing an argument that I'm winning ridiculously.
Okay. Thanks, Andrea.
That's funny.
No, but seriously, like you're making it sound like if you don't like how much you're getting paid, then quit and go start your own life and do something amazing.
And I addressed all of the nuances in it already. So what do you want me to say? You want me to admit that that's I do.
I think that you have a specific opinion about it because you got to get out of it. You got to not have a boss.
I didn't get to get out of anything.
Yes, you worked hard and you got to where you were. But if everyone
you want to know
did
what working hard was? All of you fucking people like you that sit around and watch 6 hours of fucking TV and shit and fuck around with your friends and you don't fucking do anything with your fucking spare time. You wouldn't understand that in order for me to get the fuck out of that slave wage position in society, I've worked 40 to 50 hours a week at my job for the last 2 years that I worked a stupid slave job. I worked 40 to 50 hours a week plus another 40 hours a week on my own endeavors. You would never fucking do that, and I know you wouldn't. So that's the difference. Don't fucking act like it's because I had some fucking divine circumstances.
But do you expect everyone in the country to be able to do that?
Oh my God, Andrea, can you...
No, if you're unhappy with your situation, you should be able to do everything that you did. Right?
Andrea, can you try to... I mean, because the only reason I'm entertaining...
Andrea,
hold on, stop interrupting.
No, hold on,
stop
Andrea.
Interrupting. Do
you like your job?
Stop it. Hold on. The only reason we're still entertaining this is because there might possibly be listeners that agree with Darcy. I don't know why, but maybe people need a little more coaching on this or whatever. I don't know, dude.
I just
Andrea,
think that you have an idea of what people can do that is far beyond what is actually possible. I don't think that everyone can just go buy records and sell them on eBay and make a living. And I know that you worked really hard at that, and I'm not trying to discount.
That's not the only thing I did either.
Well,
and that's
what
not
else
the only
did you
thing
do?
That doesn't fucking
That's
matter.
the point. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not as easy.
Talk into the fucking
I
mic,
can't
dude.
get any closer to the mic.
You're all over the place. You're waving your head around and you're off the
Well,
mic
you know
all
what?
the time.
To be honest, I'm not even worried about it. I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. If you can't understand what I'm saying, then you're not going to understand it.
You're just... Andrea, what do you think?
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think it's pretty clear that anybody could do their own thing if they decide to work hard enough.
And you're just turning this into such a weird thing of stop interrupting, dude. You have to stop. You're just turning this into this weird fucking thing of like, yo, so you think everybody should do exactly what you did? And but like, no, I didn't say that. I kept telling you over and over, I think people should all do what they can to try to remove from this fucking this corporate hell. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm fucking saying. You're not making any points that dispute anything that I have said. I've addressed all of this.
What I'm saying is that this corporate...
So you were on your mic when you were like that? That's why I keep telling you.
That everything is so far established, and there are so many people in this world that don't have the talents.
So we should just give up.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we should treat the people...
You don't have a point. We're going to a break.
Okay, that's fine.
Comes to meet, you'll find my sharp edge cuts right.
Well, we're back on the Overdose. I honestly don't know if you guys can hear me or not, since I am in Chicago, and I have no idea what's happening in Louisiana right now, but there's no more music playing, so here I am. David Box should be joining us any minute here, and we're going to do some stuff about the election coming up. I still can't stop thinking about that Fox Lake cop, though. He was a creep. I can't wait to hear more about him. So I guess until the rest of the show returns, I'll talk about U.S. officials. Oh, is somebody there? No? U.S. officials are saying that the Russian airliner that crashed in Egypt was likely bombed. We talked about this a little bit last week, where basically ISIS tried to take credit for it, and Russia said that it couldn't have possibly been ISIS because they don't have the technology for it. So since then, the United States has come out and said, no, somebody bombed the plane. It got hit by something in the air.
Did you just come back from the break by yourself?
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
I didn't know if people could hear me or not. I wasn't sure if I was on.
Yeah, you were on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Darcy's still outside.
Is she coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well, I was just doing a quick update about that plane. That got
Yeah, go ahead.
the U.S. is saying it got hit by something, but everyone else is saying that it's not. And then ISIS tried to take credit for it, and basically they proved it was impossible. Russia proved it was impossible for them to have done it. So I don't know what the U.S.'s angle is.
But now they're saying it was bombed, right?
Now they're saying it was bombed.
Well,
yeah.
you know what their angle is, to play up ISIS fucking involvement in anything they can, because that's the new
Yeah.
Al Qaeda, you know.
Yeah. And they did specifically say that they haven't ruled out terrorism. However, they don't have any evidence of it. That's the James Clapper, the U.S. Director of National Intelligence.
Yeah, dude, and Putin is pretty much outright saying, no, we don't have any reason to think that, right?
Right, exactly. And the plane started to break apart at 31,000 feet. But in order to have a missile or a projectile that would hit a plane at that altitude, it would have to be guided by a satellite, which there's no evidence of ISIS having anything even remotely close to that. Even if they could launch something up there, it wouldn't get there.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to get your hands on that kind of fucking artillery and shit. Although they said
When
that
you're
about
living in a cave.
they said that about the people in Crimea, remember? And then somebody uploaded to YouTube a video of, they had like those, what were they, UAF or something? Like, I forget, that's probably wrong, but they had some stolen, or what they thought may have been provided to them on purpose, Russian technology and
Right.
missile system, whatever it was, that could easily shoot down a plane if they knew how to use it. That
So
was
do you
that
think-
Malaysian Airlines thing. You remember that?
Yeah. Do you think maybe Russia is trying to downplay ISIS's role because they don't want the rest of the world to know that they armed ISIS with this technology in exchange for them not fighting in Russia? Remember we talked about they send soldiers and operatives into ISIS. They basically deport people into ISIS. Do you think that they're arming them to keep them out of the country? They've worked out a deal?
I don't know. They're doing all that stuff, like how they're sending. I mean, they have been sending. Their intelligence agency was sending all the people in the rebels in the Caucasus Mountains to Syria.
The loose
And-
cannons.
Yeah, and they're basically. I mean, they have their hands pretty bloody on this whole thing already. You know, about feeding ISIS and stuff. So yeah, they're definitely in control of the narrative.
And they do obviously have an understanding with ISIS, whether it's written or not. You know?
Are your headphones on?
Yes.
Hey.
Hey. I don't-
Okay.
I just plugged in here. I don't know what's going on.
Russia is arming ISIS with satellite guided missiles
Ah, okay.
to
Possibly.
destroy Russian airlines. Wait, no, there's a hole in this.
What?
Wait.
Why
Right-
did they destroy their own airliner?
Yeah.
Well, why? Andrea, come on. Really? False flag.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. See?
On. Wait, why would they fly the planes at their own buildings?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, we've seen it enough times. We know why they would fucking do it.
Yeah, they haven't released anything from the black box yet. But there is the official statement is that there's nothing definitive that they can state. So I guess we'll stick with it and see what else happens.
So anyways, about the argument before.
Did we reach an agreement?
No.
I did want to say, hold on, because Darcy started to ask me if I like my job, because I do work 40 hours a week. I work for a small company. I work for an independently owned restaurant. I am paid way above minimum wage. And
But do you still feel like you're slightly taken advantage of?
yeah, in a way, but I'm using this as a launching pad now. Since I'm making enough money for it, my fiance is starting to make the move to quitting his full-time job so that he can be self-employed. And then once he's there, I'm going to quit my full-time job so I can also be self-employed. So
Okay, well, and I understand that, and I can see why a lot of people would move towards that. But there's a huge percentage of the country that doesn't have that option.
well,
like-
anybody, I have that
And
option.
that's what I'm saying is that you are a smart, talented person who has skills that can let you be self-employed. But there is a vast majority of the country that doesn't have those skills or that education to allow them to survive
But
while
this-
trying to do that.
This
And
is
that's
part of
all
the
that
whole-
I'm saying.
This is part of the whole thing, though, too, is like, why do you think they don't have those skills? Do you think people are naturally as stupid and complacent as they are, or do you think they're influenced by processed food, chemicals, TV,
Yeah, of course they are.
brainwashing,
And
media,
I'm
all
not
this?
saying that.
So,
no, of course.
once you pull out of all that stuff, you'll find people are actually pretty fucking. I mean, people surprise the shit out of me. How many insanely intelligent, creative, resourceful people I've met all over the fucking country in unlikely places. It's just, dude, people are not stupid. You know, that is really part of the big myth of this, is that everyone's helpless. You know, and it's, for a lot of people, it's easier to feel helpless. And people who maybe can get out of their situation might convince themselves they can't because it's easier.
Well, of course, that's a big point of it. Yes, there are a lot of people who can do better than they do. But there are also a lot of people who can't. And what if everyone just started to be self-employed? Like that, how would that structurally work?
I don't even understand the question.
Okay, so if everyone was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to take all the money that I have saved and start my own business.
Why would everyone do that at once? Nobody ever said that's what everyone
Not
should do.
I'm not saying all at once, but that's
Also, wait, being self-employed is different than owning a business.
Yeah.
I want to be able to provide a service directly to another human being and get paid directly for that service.
Sure.
And that's self-employment to me.
Rather
like
than act as a representative of someone
okay,
else
but
who's
once
getting rich off
your
my
business
labor.
started taking off and the service you were providing got big enough that you needed to help.
So what? What is that? What
But
does that have
that's
to do
how
with
it all
anything?
starts. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so what?
That
So then you get to have
that's
a
how it all
business.
grows into.
How is that a negative
Like
thing?
Walgreens was a small a single person business at one point. All of these large businesses.
No, it wasn't. Wall Drug was.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
God
But all
damn
of
it.
these businesses that we think are evil were at one point one dude in a store who just got big enough. And
That's not true. Not all of them.
Most of them were.
A lot of them. may have
McDonald's
been-
was?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that it is you can always take it back and go, oh well, I'm going to start this business, but that's how these businesses started. That's how
Okay.
these evil corporations started. Was a dude doing his thing,
And
and so it just progresses.
so nobody should. So your point is people shouldn't try to start their own businesses. 'Cause
No,
that's inherently
that's
evil,
not what
'cause
I'm saying. I'm just saying
Success,
that
success is evil.
I'm just
plenty of
saying
businesses
that
already.
these businesses should be providing people with a livelihood.
Yes.
And that if you're unhappy
but-
with your station in life, you shouldn't necessarily just have to go start your own business.
Nobody
Or-
said that.
That's what it sounded like you were saying, was that
No, well then you didn't listen to the words I said, because what I actually said was people should do what they can to get out of this spiral of just corporate dominance. So I didn't say everyone has to start their own business and everyone
which
has
is
to become
asking for
self-employed.
more money,
What?
right? for these people, they should ask for more money.
Right, I get it, and fine. If there's no way else, fine. Go get your $15 an hour, whatever, but then don't be satisfied. Don't just sit there and go, okay, now we're cool, we won. Do you see the point? It's very slavey to go, hey, these people that are fucking treating me so shitty and putting out shitty products and taking advantage of everyone every step of the way, I'm not going to keep, being their slave until I get a little bit more per hour. Do you see what I'm saying?
I mean, I do.
Fine,
I do.
go
I see
do
what you're
it
saying.
if you want. Great. But then don't act like that's a win.
It's a step in the right direction.
No, it's not. That's the thing. That's like when we talked about, like, why is the Pope being a cool guy a step in the right direction? Why do we need the Vatican? Why do we need the Catholic fucking authoritarian structure? We just talked about this. It's not a step in the right direction.
And what I said about the Pope is that it was already such an established thing that there's no way to really walk away from it in the foreseeable future.
I absolutely disagree because the
Pope can abolish himself.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
and that's something that happens in the hearts and minds of people. That's if everyone just, that's the same thing with government. The same thing with corporate dominance. If everyone at once went, nah, fuck this shit, you'd be surprised how quickly we could overturn things and we could actually have a society that made a lot more sense.
I just don't see everyone all at once doing that.
Fine. So you have
but
a
that's what it
defeatist
would
mentality. Take. Everything you say is just like what a lazy person trying to justify why they shouldn't have to try in life, And it's like,
I'm not even trying to defend myself. I'm trying to defend the other
I said
people
it's
that
like
I know.
that.
Oh, okay. Well, if it was like that, then never mind.
Do you see what I'm saying, Andrea? Like, everything Darcy is saying is just like these weird excuses about why. I mean, and you're trying to combat the argument, and I don't know why you're doing it, but you're trying to combat the simple argument of people should do what they can. So I don't know how you could possibly be opposed to that. You recognize how evil all these fucking like, we started off talking about McDonald's, and then we got into Walmart and Best Buy, and so you whatever, you recognize how evil the
I
influence.
never said Best Buy.
I don't care what you said. You recognize the influence, or how evil the influence over society that all these corporations have is, and then you're trying to argue against the fact that people should try to pull out if they can. And that's why I had to end it before, because you're not going anywhere. It's just you're just going in circles trying to make excuses, and I don't get it.
I don't think it's logical or reasonable to say that there are people who literally can't do anything to make any situation better.
Right. It's just defeatist thinking, and maybe that's
and
just something you gotta
oversimplified.
conquer for yourself. Maybe that's just how you look at things, and you should really try to get a little bit more empowered viewpoint going on. Maybe you should look into this stuff a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I don't know. Never mind.
Yeah, I just don't see where else
Let's
we can
just
go with it.
that. Never mind.
Sorry, Andrea, you had another point to make, I think, or something.
No, I think that was it. I feel like my whole point was if you're working hard and doing it, then it's okay to utilize the system if you're working to get away from it.
Yeah.
But not to be enslaved by it. And I think that's the balance that everyone needs to find in order to get to the next step. And I think it's completely doable. I don't think that it's impossible.
All right. We'll leave it there, I guess. What's going on with the election, Andrea?
Some shocking news.
I'm trying to picture what's going to happen, really.
All right. Well, as of right now, go ahead.
Well, because, like, the last time this happened, it was really clear that Barack Obama was going to win.
You mean for re-election or when?
Oh,
he
you
was
know what?
elected the
I'm
first
actually
time?
thinking of 8 years ago. It was
Okay.
it was really clear very early on that he was going to win, just the way the media was portraying him, and this was kind of all just written in the stars for him. And then
Right.
The next one, I was actually wrong, and I really figured that they would put a conservative in to try to basically put back to sleep the whole, like, anti-government conservative movement, because a lot of them are going to just be party affiliated and kind of then be satisfied by that win. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they kept Barack Obama in, and now, so I was wrong about that, and now I honestly have no fucking clue what's going to happen this next election at all. I don't even know what, like, I don't get the Donald Trump thing at this point. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I really thought he was a decoy. I really thought he was meant to corral a lot of voters on certain issues and then be sacrificed in the media, and then they would hand off the leadership, to the whatever one of the other candidates that didn't have the charisma to get support on his own, and they would go, well, since Trump's not going to be in, I got to go for the guy that's like XYZ that I agree with, you know.
Well, Trump is no longer the front runner.
And it's Ben Carson now?
Ben Carson. Yeah, Ben Carson it has 29% approval, where Donald Trump only has 23%. The next closest candidate is Marco Rubio with 11%.
So
it's pretty much between the two of them at this point.
The guy that thought the pyramids were built to store grain. Did you see that?
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
Ben Carson once told a reporter that he thinks the pyramids were built to store grain. I mean, think about it. It's it has to be.
Well, he cites Joseph, like from the Bible, Joseph.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other?
Let's see. My own personal theory is that Joseph built the pyramids to store grain. Now all the archaeologists think that they were made for the pharaoh's graves. But, you know, something to store that grain would have to be awfully big if
By the
you
way,
stop to think about it.
I don't think that's what all archaeologists think either. I think they found, did they find any pharaoh's mummies in pyramids?
Yeah.
No. Did they?
No, I don't think so. I think when we looked into it, or the big whatever pyramids of a certain size, they've never found remains in them.
Yeah,
that's what I thought I read.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't there.
No, I guess not. But
there was a lot of, great tomb robbers and shit.
Yeah, but there's a ton of other evidence that what we've been talking about for the past year or two that's really panned out for me is the idea that there's some kind of energy source. That they were either like a communication or energy device.
Yeah, I thought
basically
that's what the thing was.
Yeah, that's kind of what I believe at this point after all of my YouTube research.
I don't know. It just seems all the rooms they found in there. Why would that contribute to a communication device? The pyramid itself, I can understand.
Yeah, but there were.
But what's the shit inside?
The
Why
communication
is there
device on all the chambers and everything that has there's a guy I always forget his name, Andrew. Maybe you can find it and post it to the Facebook page real quick. The Overdose Talk Show on Facebook. By the way, come find us and email us at sundayeveningoverdose@gmail.com. So the idea that we've talked about a bunch of times is there was a guy that hypothesized all these chambers and hallways and everything actually fit as a system of test tubes and beakers and shit.
Really?
And to complete chemical reactions and stuff to produce energy. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that can make sense. I don't know. It just seems it's hard to wrap that around the concept of what rooms and rooms and hallways are in my mind.
Yeah, but people have to be able to fit through them to work on them and build the thing, and then they serve a different purpose
sense.
when it's all done.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
That would be the idea. Not like I fucking actually know
but
what I'm talking about.
But aren't there multiple artifacts found inside the pyramids? Things of value.
Now I can't remember, but I know there's.
I mean, it's not just empty rooms. What would these artifacts be doing in there if it was just?
Yeah, that's a good point too.
It just seems like the whole moving on to the afterlife aspect makes more sense with the things that have been found in those chambers.
Wait, now I feel like an idiot. Were there pharaohs in pyramids or not?
I think that there were.
I might be really stupid.
I
thought
they
that
found
I remember.
Tuncamen, didn't they?
Yeah, but
Not in
his
pyramid.
tomb.
Yeah.
Oh,
His
he wasn't.
tomb.
He wasn't in a pyramid. Yeah, well, because there was the Valley of the Kings that was all just kind of like caves, right?
Right, and they were all buried in those cubicle tomb thingies.
Yeah, and it wasn't actual pyramids. You know what?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know what they actually found inside the pyramids. That's interesting. That's something I have not looked into in my spare time.
Yes, pyramids were built to bury pharaohs.
I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think they
what
also
are
had
you
all
using
the
to
things.
verify that?
And we have researched that so much too. Such an idiot.
ancientegypt.co.uk.
Sounds good enough.
That's pretty official. So our current GOP frontrunner does believe that the pyramids were built by God himself, not an alien. He does
Oh.
specify that he doesn't think they were built by aliens
Oh, that's good.
to store grain. Yeah, so it's him or Hillary Clinton is still, let's see, she's at 45% for the Democrats right now.
Why?
Which is interesting.
But
Yeah.
she's not. Everyone is in love with Bernie Sanders. People support the fuck.
29% right now.
Dude, people support the fuck out of Bernie Sanders.
Well, here's the difference, though. When you watch news that airs on the television, it's all Hillary.
And then when you go around in real life, everyone hates Hillary and everybody likes Bernie Sanders.
Exactly. And I would wager that you spend more time in real life than watching TV. So
And again,
I thought the same thing, and so did David Box. We were like, oh, Bernie is way out ahead at this point. But no, he's still 16 points behind. So
That's
we
insane.
don't even like Bernie Sanders, but in the interest of truth,
feeling.
the guy has way more support than Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
way
absolutely.
more.
By a very, very wide margin, definitely. And and I think it's and Benghazi. I bring it up every single time we talk about her.
Yeah, they
How-
just questioned her again on that, huh?
Yeah, they found more emails that she quote unquote didn't erase but vanished from her.
Yeah, I watched some of the questioning, and they were really going after her. Honestly,
Yeah. And she's still in the lead.
Yeah, and she looked like shit too. There were so many questions that like would just get to like, they would go, did the whoever is supposed to investigate this, did they have access to your emails before this date? And she's like, I provided them with all the emails I thought were relevant as per the instructions of their request, and blah. It's just like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, yes or no, bitch. And then she's going, I have they had access to 90 to 95% of my emails before this ever happened, and it's like, well, what? And they just ask her like, well, what's the other 5 or 10%? Well, I'm only required to hand over emails that I deem to be business related, or whatever. Like, these other ones were personal and just let's go out for lunch and stuff, like, what, dude? Then why can't we see them? You
They
fucking
also
cunt.
asked her, did you deliberately wipe the emails from your computer? And she said, wipe them with a cloth? Like wipe wipe my computer? Yeah.
Truck? What's a truck?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Fell off
insane.
of a truck? I don't know what a truck is.
And
Yeah.
she's still 45% of Democrats support her as the next president. She's a joke. She's a mess. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, out in the real world, it's all Bernie Sanders all the time. And he recently announced that he has introduced a bill to end the federal ban on marijuana outright.
Oh, wow. So he has one fucking sane view. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love how that, and like, look how great of a guy. Like, everyone with half a brain has wanted to fucking end drug prohibition for 30, 40 years. The fuck are you talking about? Like, that's supposed to be so fucking impressive.
Yeah.
And
Watch. He aligns with one thing that I think about. Perfect.
It's just a candidate making promises. That's what that is. Have you guys ever seen that before? Can anyone think of any examples? It's just fucking where I don't understand, dude. This is the same thing when Barack Obama was running, and I had all these friends that are so into it, and I'm going like, guys, don't you remember 6 months ago when you understood that this was all a scam, and now you just get totally roped into this guy? Like,
oh, well, come on. I mean, Obama earned that Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, well, he definitely wasn't Bush, so he got it.
Yeah. You got Bush out of here.
He
You get this
basically won a
prize.
prize for not being George Bush.
Yeah.
That's
No,
how bad they
also-
fucked up on the George Bush thing. They didn't. There were some miscalculations there. They made people hate him way more than they meant to. Somehow.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do. Well, his whole thing was to be a dumb guy Texan. Hey, I'm just like y'all, and like it just really it didn't work, and it really, first of all, that's a character. He's not actually like that. He grew
Right.
up in fucking New England or something, and vacationed down in Midland. All that shit.
Yeah.
He's a fucking fake character in the first fucking place. He's not actually that fucking stupid. He might be that stupid, but he's not
but
that
he's
bumbling.
privileged enough. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? They made him look sort of hapless and just, I don't know,
Yuck.
Yeah, right. And he was way more dangerous that way. And then they got away with a lot more, but by the end of it, people were just so on to him, and his business ties and everything that that was probably about as hated as a president has ever fucking been. And then when they got Barack Obama in, it was just such a big like sigh of relief that we had someone different. Like, let's
The
toss
country's
him a medal.
not destroyed. Look, we elected a black president. We're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A black Muslim.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep.
according to his birth certificate, which I've never seen.
A certificate of live birth.
Yeah.
That's what he has.
Well,
I hate that too, that people think birthers are so retarded when I've never seen that whole issue flushed out.
Yeah.
It's just at a
Well, and
standstill. It's just,
remember-
he doesn't have it. He's got a certificate of live birth, and then when everybody showed that, remember that they did the photo analysis of the typewriter strokes, and they found that it was photoshopped basically beyond the shadow of a doubt, because every typewriter stroke has some very fucking, every time the little whatever has the letter on it, I don't know what that part is called, hits the paper, it has tiny little anomalies. You know what I mean? Because it's actually a physical thing. Like when you stamp a
it's
stamp,
unique
they're not going to
to
be
each.
exactly the same every time. And
Right.
somebody went through and proved basically like a fingerprint, by like matching a certain number of things. Like, look, these are just copied letters. This was doctored way after the fact,
Yeah.
probably before Photoshop in some other era where now it's easy to pick out, So there was that with that certificate of live birth, and that just went away. And it's like,
Well-
yeah, you guys are fucking crazy. Really?
Well, remember when we discovered that Michelle Obama was actually a man and that their kids didn't have the proper birth certificate either?
Oh, yeah. And then she was a man when we looked at the pictures of her. God, we've
Yeah.
done so much on this show that I can't remember. It's like I forgot that Michelle Obama was a man.
Yeah, Michael. Remember Obama called her Michael.
That's right. Yeah.
And there is no documented evidence of her giving birth to those children.
How? That's
Or should I say him?
Is that
claim
actually
to have
true,
had an
Andrea?
at-home birth. Well, they claim to have had an at-home birth, so they have
Oh, really?
like
Those people had an
certificate of
at-home
birth
birth?
from a home doctor. Yeah, in the White House.
There's no way.
They claim to have a certificate of birth from just handwritten from a doctor, but that's not
Ah.
official. Yeah, for
That's
both of
weird.
the children too. Yeah, but they're not officially registered as being born with any hospital or any public records or anything like that. They just kind of started existing.
Weird.
Plus, her arms and
Her
hands.
arms and
Well,
her shoulders.
I
Yeah.
honestly don't know what the kids I've never really looked at pictures of the kids. Do they look like her?
All
Yeah,
black
they
people are the same to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, Andrea, you were cutting out for that. Sorry.
We all know what she said.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but she was totally a man. I remember when we did that. It was, you just look at the pictures of her and you're like, how the fuck did I not notice this before? How the fuck did I not notice that she has arms like Derek Jeter?
What
Her
are her
name is
hands? Have you seen her
obviously
hands?
Michael.
Huh?
What do her hands look like? That's a dead giveaway. Is the hands?
They're big.
They're,
She's really
yeah.
tall too. I mean, she's not average. And I saw a picture of her from when she was much younger, when she and Barack had first gotten together. And she was smaller, but she still looked very manly.
Really?
So,
Michael.
Michael.
Whatever. How did we get on that point?
I saw a picture of Hillary and Bill when they were young. They were an attractive couple.
Yeah, they were.
They were fair. Like, you can't imagine her looking like, when you look at her, you're like, oh, she had fun one day.
I'd like to see them fuck. I would.
No, they were cute. Like, she was not a hard, cold, stone bitch at one
I'd
point.
still fuck her now.
Really?
I've
With
said
that
that.
hair? Ugh.
I've said that over and over that I want to fist fuck Hillary Clinton's mouth.
That doesn't
That's
count.
true.
That's
Yes,
not.
it does.
That's
And
not the
but
same thing as you want to fuck her.
I also one time said that I would fuck her into hell in some weird situation with demons surrounding us and candles and shit. There was that
I
too.
remember that one.
Yeah.
And he is always specific to. He never says he wants to punch her. It's always specific to fist fucking. So
Yeah.
So
it's
okay.
it's an
That's
important
okay then.
distinction.
Fist fuck her right in the kisser.
No, we started talking about Michael Obama because we were talking about broken campaign promises because of Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Weed
right.
bill.
So how
Yeah.
is everybody just going down this same road again?
It's
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to legalize weed. And if they do, like I've said before, that's just like a fucking... It's like a bully who all their victims are circling around them and finally about to take revenge, you know, throwing back some of the lunch money and them giving up. And it's like,
yeah.
you're
If
going to
we all
give us...
share. We could each have 20 cents.
You're going to give us weed? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I'm not going to be happy until everyone who's every cop and every prosecutor and every judge who's ever convicted someone and everyone in every step of the fucking process who's ever fucking worked on a drug case has to go to fucking prison for some amount of time. I don't know how long is fair. You know, but honestly, that's how I fucking feel about it. I'm not satisfied. Oh, it's legal now? Well, what did you just do for 75 years, you fucking cocksucker? What the fuck was that? The fuck was that about? That's like somebody just like smacks you in the face like 50 times, you know, every day for like a month. And then they come up and they're in a wheelchair. You're just like, oh, really? The fuck was that shit?
yeah. You think this is getting you out of that?
And that's part of how the war on drugs works is they're afraid to fucking let go at this point because if this all becomes legal and then we look at the damage they've done to society and the amount of lives they've ruined over something that they should have never had their fucking nose stuck in the first place, then there's going to be lynchings. This whole country's already brimming, ready to turn against law enforcement. Imagine if everybody came around to that fucking, if everybody really just, coalesced in that argument to go, look, this has been an absolute rape and murder, literally and figuratively, of American citizens and their rights for 70 fucking 5 years or whatever, how long has it been? Yeah, about 77 years or something. So yeah, this whole thing, this whole fucking thing, they must be scared to death of people putting two and two together that way and going, yeah, you know what I mean. Once it's legal, there's going to be some backlash. Why the fuck did you ruin our country?
Yeah, and then in the meantime, the giant corporations will swoop in and just find a way to capitalize on. I mean, like we talked about before, Philip Morris is already making marijuana cigarettes for the few places where they can be sold.
Yeah, didn't you say that you heard they had patents on that since
In the 50s.
In the 50s, they did?
Yeah.
Just in case it ever became legal?
Exactly, yeah.
Stupid.
Yep.
Again, I'm always right about this shit. Just keep it illegal. You're fucking better off. They've got it all fucking thought. They've thought of everything. Just keep it, being grown in underground places and getting it illegally. It'll be way safer.
Ohio voted yesterday. The populace voted on whether or not to legalize marijuana recreationally, and it failed so badly.
Yeah, I don't understand that because it wasn't the state Congress or something voting on it. It was just regular people.
It was people.
It was voters, who I guess are not the smartest people, but it was voters. And when you're out in society, you'd be hard-pressed to find a person who will admit in public that they think weed should be illegal.
Right.
I guess Ohio's full of fucking dumb fucking cow shit covered stupid farmer rednecks that don't fucking understand shit.
I'll bet they all smoke meth. The more rural it is, the more meth there is.
And drink beer.
Yeah.
They definitely drink beer. And if they don't, who gives a fuck? Whatever, they're still pieces of shit.
It failed by 65%. 65% of the people voted no to legalizing it.
That's unfucking believable.
It wasn't even close.
And this was a statewide election thing, and it was part of that?
Yeah, it's called Issue 3.
Son of a fucking bitch. I can't even believe there's that many retarded people allowed in society alone. And you're allowed to vote? The fuck is wrong with you? I can't formulate even a sentence on this.
They think that it may have failed because they didn't bother to try legalizing medical marijuana first. They just went straight from absolutely illegal to totally legal. So maybe if they had taken smaller steps, it would have been easier. But there was also a weird thing in this about how if it was made legal, the industry would, by law, be controlled by a certain set of people. Rich investors. There were contracts being worked out with the state government in terms of who would be allowed to grow and distribute marijuana under the law. So I guess in a way it was a success because it wouldn't cultivate any small business or small economy. It would only be feeding a larger monster.
Okay. No, I saw, when I was looking into this, I did see a thing that people were talking about how they didn't want it to be a large, government-run thing. And that's what they were voting against. Not necessarily that marijuana should be illegal, but they didn't want it to be a, conglomerate.
Oligopoly.
What?
It's a small group of people who operate quote-unquote separate businesses and monopolize the industry.
Yeah.
Among
Okay.
themselves.
Like tobacco.
Oligopoly. Right.
All right. Yeah, that's when I saw it. That's kind of seemed like what it was is that they weren't necessarily voting against marijuana being legal, is that they didn't want it to be controlled by these small factions.
Somewhat hilariously, one of the major
and
contributors
Actually, hold on. I want to retract what I said about all that terrible things I said about farmers, because maybe it's because they understand this better than I do.
Yeah, I think they probably do.
And they're in agriculture. They're like, nah, it's not going to work for us. And just a minute ago, I was saying that weed should be kept. I'm such a cunt. I was just screaming about how weed should just be illegal, and you should stop fucking trying to get the government involved in it again. And now I'm like, you fucking retards not passing this bill to make it legal.
What, you didn't go out and vote?
What a moron I am.
What I was going to say was hilariously one of the major rich investors who would own this industry in Ohio is Nick Lachey,
What?
who you may remember from 98 Degrees. Used to be married to
from
Jessica
what?
Simpson.
98
Boy
degrees.
Band.
98 Degrees?
The band.
The boy,
Oh, yeah.
yes. Married to Jessica Simpson.
I
and they
forgot
have
that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he's from Ohio and is back to living there, and apparently wanted to own the weed business and failed.
No.
Oh, yeah, because then he became a reality star or something, right?
Well, his girlfriend did.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Well, it was a show about their whatever. It was. A
It
show.
was more about her than anything.
Who gives a fuck?
I saw one clip about her asking if tuna of the sea or chicken of the sea was actually chicken. And that was the only thing I knew about that.
It's not?
No, it's tuna. Yes.
Andrew, you don't need to go, too.
Well, why not? It
Already
sounded
two
nice.
people did it. No, it sucked.
I liked it. I like to hear her go,
I just want to feel connected to you guys. I feel really far away. It's lonely here. I don't even have David Boggs with me. It's
No,
weird.
that sounds awful. Do you at least have one animal next to you?
No, they're all mad at me because I'm not paying attention to them.
Is David Box going to be joining the show?
Yeah, I sure hope so. He should be home any minute.
Let's call him and tell him he should be here.
All right.
We
So
unfortunately can't make outgoing calls.
Oh, well. Did you try dialing 9?
No.
Usually that works.
Should we take a break and I'll get in touch with David Box?
That sounds like a great idea.
do you want to? I don't know. I wanted to finish up the election stuff too. If we're going to do any more on it. Did we already do everything on it?
Yeah,
I actually looked up approval ratings of presidents, and Bush has the W has the biggest difference. He started at a 92% in 01 and ended with 19% in 08.
Yeah,
Wait, he started with how much?
92%.
92%.
92.
That's
in 01.
bullshit, dude.
No, people loved him. They wanted him in 01. And then by 08, he had 19%. And that is the lowest of any president. No other president has such a drastic change.
No, and he set records 37%. I remember once he hit a 37% approval rating, that was the record for the lowest ever measured approval rating.
And that was after like Truman dropped the fucking bombs
Truman
on
kind of fucked up there.
on the
yeah,
Japs.
and then it continued to go down after that.
The chart I have, it doesn't have all of the presidents, obviously. It just has like the most extreme. The only one that went up was Roosevelt. Only one president went up in his ratings. Every other
about
president has gone down. From like the beginning of their presidency to the end.
That's what I'm saying.
But people fucking loved Roosevelt.
That's the whole game. Make a bunch of promises, become a star.
Yeah.
Get in there. Hopefully the circumstances are right for you to fit some time and place, like Barack Obama did, like George Bush did. You know what I mean? Like and have everybody excited, and then just try to get through as much bullshit and encroachments on individual liberties as you can before people catch on and start hating you.
Yeah.
That's the whole game. That's the whole thing.
No, do you want to look at this chart? It's kind of crazy.
I wish you would talk into your mic. I really do.
I'm so sorry. It's really hard. I'm not used to it. I apologize. But this chart is crazy. Like, approval ratings at the beginning are just so high. And then it's like 80, 70, 90%. And it goes down to like the fucking 20s. Every single president, no one has appreciated what they did.
Well, because they don't do anything.
Yeah, no. It's fucking crazy, though, to look like Kennedy did all right. He's the only one that kind of held on.
Yeah.
But the rest of them were like, everyone was like, fuck you. We don't want you anymore.
Most of the guys that are doing things for people get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Kennedy,
well, that's the thing is he got killed. Who knows
Lincoln.
what would have happened if he didn't get killed.
Andrea, what was it? We used to do it. Maybe in the break you could find the list of presidents who opposed centralized banking who were assassinated or attempted to be assassinated.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like the common thread in most of the presidential assassinations, I think.
You know what, though? Kennedy did have the highest disapproval rate at one point.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did Hitler, but he also opposed centralized banking.
And he was a dog lover.
Yeah.
And not in a creepy way.
Yeah, it was a little creepy.
What?
No, I'm just trying to read the numbers on this chart. I'm just looking at it like
She looked like she was going to say something.
I was going to say something, but I'm just reading numbers. It's just interesting that Kennedy was actually had the highest numbers overall, but had the lowest rating at one point. Like, he went down real far, but then came back up. Yeah.
I wonder what point that was.
Well, that's the thing is I just have random dates. It's not like
I wish you would talk in, Mike. I just wish that we would.
I don't know what else. I'm sorry. It's in front of my face. That's all I see. I'm trying to read a thing. It's interesting, though, because he has some of the highest ratings overall, but he also has the lowest rating of disapproval. Yeah, all right. Let's do that.
All right, we'll take a break.
Okay.
Be back in a few minutes.
Fuck therapy, my clarity is scaring me. Apparently.
I lost my drink.
You lost your drink?
It's gone. It's somewhere on the premises.
You're pretty drunk, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty drunk, but there's still booze left in the cup.
Andrea,
Yes.
Hi.
tell me David Box is here.
He's not here.
No.
He's not. Wait. He is confirmed en route.
Is he?
Ooh. Where's he coming from?
As of 10:04. I have no idea.
Oh.
He doesn't tell me where he goes.
You gotta keep tabs on your man.
No way.
Don't you got that GPS
Exhausting.
tracker?
Oh.
Because there's a couple things I wanted to wait till he was here for, but if he's gonna be a fucking cocksucker and take forever.
Well, he should be here any minute, so
No.
we can wait.
There was that guy. Wait, let's see what this is. Mysterious ancient geoglyphs
Ooh.
discovered in Kazakhstan leave archaeologists perplexed.
Oh.
Is this your story, Andrea?
Yeah.
What is this?
This is I Fucking Love Science reported on. They're ancient earthworks. So they have been found via Google Earth and NASA photo imaging. And they have found these shapes that are made on large scales. They're clearly man-made shapes. Let's see. There's one that's it's like a rectangle with an X going through it, made out of dots.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the Nazca lines. in
Right, that's what it
Peru,
looks
right?
like.
It's like, when you see those big things you can only see from the air, that seem to be some kind of markers or messages or representations of something.
Right. So the archaeologists that are investigating it have no idea who built them or when. They haven't even gotten that far. They've narrowed it down to built by ancient people, and they can't. Yeah, and they haven't discerned their purpose yet either.
Well, they
could be
never figure out the purpose of shit like this.
right.
There's a million different theories about the Nazca lines.
They said they could be up to 8,000 years old. But they've put them more in the ballpark of 2,000.
You got like two options here. Either they're communicating with things in the sky that they believed or had reason to believe were there, or they're doing some kind of like ritual that involves like walking along these patterns that they think are sacred, and it's like a prayer path kind of thing. Right? Isn't that about all it could be? There's a couple things, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there would have to be some kind of communication, or people just build things. There's
Just for funsies.
the idea that
to build a legacy, to build something that lives beyond you. Who knows how long people have been obsessed with creating something that outlives their physical form.
like 3 or 4 years at least.
At least.
And but the thing is, like, these could also easily be like, because these even look way cruder than the Nazca lines. These look, you know what I mean? They're not like straight lines. The shapes aren't really geometrically.
Yeah, they seem less
sophisticated.
mathematical.
They're just fucking exactly. And so I don't know. I could easily see this being like, we're plotting this out and we're making this thing and we're gonna all walk this shape because that's our crazy religion right now, and we think if we do this we'll get somehow enlightened.
Yeah. They did also include in their shapes a shape that resembles ancient swastikas that were found all over the world, including Hindu temples and Nordic stone carvings.
Yeah, swastikas are huge.
Yeah, and you can see it in this photo. I'll share this too. I'll put the link up for everybody.
Do these have a name yet?
No, Kazakhstan geoglyphs.
Yeah.
As of right now, they're pretty much brand new. Well, I mean, they're pretty much just found. So they're still being studied. There's only 2 archaeologists assigned to it right now. So
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
yeah,
we wouldn't want to find out anything of this. There looks like there's like a fucking ATV trail that goes through one of them.
yeah. That's exactly what that looks like. That's the square has a trail going through it.
Yeah. That's I don't know, dude. That's to me, I don't know what else it could be. Either you're trying to signal to somebody in the sky, or you're fucking creating some weird religious thing. That's about all it could be.
Yeah,
Darcy's drunk as shit.
Yeah, I am. And I have a frog in my throat.
I never cease to be amazed by how often they find things this old. You know, like why is that still there and nobody ever saw it until
That's a good question.
So they had NASA photographs.
Yeah, they used Google Earth Digital Globe via NASA.
Yeah, but
which
we
is
always
like
talk about how bullshit NASA is, and you can't fucking trust anything they do.
That's true.
You know, who the fuck knows in the end?
Who knows? NASA created these. We're calling it right now.
Yeah.
To mildly confuse and bemuse a handful of people.
Yeah, really, like
You got us.
15,000 people that share this article around the world.
Yeah.
Fucking big NASA scam.
And the 2 YouTube shows that talked about it.
Right.
They're on to us.
They also NASA just did that thing with the black hole where they said they just saw something come out of a black hole. Did you see that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they
As crazy as it sounds, though.
Oh, it isn't?
Oh.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Well, explain it to me.
Okay, so a black hole, the way they understand the physics to work of a black hole is that it creates a vortex, but it has similar to an eye of a hurricane in the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you were able to place yourself exactly through the eye of that black hole, a human being would be able to pass through. If they were exactly in the eye of the black hole, they would be able to pass through and exit on the other side.
What's on the other side?
Yeah, exactly.
The other side of the black hole. What do you think?
Of course.
It's just like just like walking through a hallway. It's just like, all right, now we're over here.
It's like falling down a tube.
Okay.
Like a tube of crazy fucking space vortexes where reality doesn't matter anymore and time and space is just whirling together in some sick orgy of nonsense. A black hole is everything you could imagine and nothing at the same time. Darcy's wasted.
Good. Yeah, so NASA apparently has measured for the first time an object passing through and then a massive pulse of X-ray energy spewing out behind it.
Huh.
Like it had taken some of the energy that was driving the black hole along with it as it passed through. Like it created a breeze that like sucked some of that up into it.
New rule. If NASA's going to claim they see something coming out of a black hole, then they need to put something back into the black hole. I got an idea. How about your Nazi founders? Sorry.
That's all right. This black hole, however, is 324 million light years away. So even if it did something super fucking crazy, we would never feel any effect of it here.
I would like to ask, Vinny, you had spoken before about how Pluto, what did you say? Pluto was going to explode or something? And it was going to kill us all? I remember this a couple weeks ago. You said something about that.
No, that wasn't real.
No, it wasn't real.
No, we debunked that.
okay.
We debunked that.
See,
there was a rumor that
have
Pluto
not
was going to
been paying
explode.
attention.
Yeah.
Too bad.
And we took the bait. I actually researched that. I didn't just say, no, that's stupid. That's not going to happen.
I told a friend of mine, and he was sitting at the bar, like eating a salad on his lunch break, and he looked it up, and he's like, I don't see anything about this.
No, there's nothing about that.
And I was like, well, I don't know. He told me. And he's like, no, this isn't a thing.
My boyfriend's really smart.
Yeah, I was like, no, he said so.
You should listen to his talk show.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure
debunk
they're
it on your
gonna
lunch break.
Yeah. On your fucking iPhone in 10 seconds.
Yeah. All right. Well, now I know. Thanks, guys.
New rule. If you're going to ask me a question, then I get to ask you a question. Where do you get off questioning me about things that you don't even
Yeah.
Time will be real time.
Russell Brand called the Queen
Yeah, what was that?
Worst Kraut Nazi.
Well, wasn't there a big controversy because he used her actual last name?
Well, he
Wait, what is her actual last name?
They don't want you to ever say royal people's last names. Royalty. They all go by the this of this, and they have all these weird titles and stuff, because if you knew all their last names, you'd realize they were all inbred as fuck.
But do you know
Right.
the current queen's last name?
Yeah, she goes by Windsor, but her
Ah.
real last name is Saxe-Coburg Gotha.
What?
Yeah, they're German, and before that, Transylvanian. The current British royal family is recently German, right?
Yes. Yeah. This all came about because a newspaper in the UK printed photos of the Queen as a child giving a Nazi salute, like out with her family.
What was that laugh?
That's funny. That's a funny thing. That's why I laughed.
It wasn't even like, here's what I looked up the photos and they weren't even worth pulling. It was literally, I mean, she was maybe 7, 6
Yeah,
years.
that's where it starts, though. That's where you start embedding those ideas when they're before 7 years old. Mm-hmm. So she probably still believes it.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah,
Well, that's why she changed her name, obviously.
exactly.
And that's-
Ooh.
Let's not forget that Prince Charles pretends to be a vampire recreationally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that unusual these days.
Well, I've thought about that before. I was like, what if I was this like insanely rich guy that like just fell into this position in life and
You would totally
had this
yeah.
huge estate to run around on in the dark, and everybody had to do what I said? I'd pretend to be some weird stuff, probably.
You would totally drink blood.
But no, he
Pretend to be a dinosaur and stalk the ground.
then he was bragging about how he was a direct descendant of Vlad the Impaler.
I'm related to Vlad the Impaler,
But that's not, he
yeah,
wasn't
sure.
actually a vampire, so that doesn't count.
Wasn't he?
No, he was just like a badass dude who actually like reunited his country and did some cool shit.
Hell yeah, you know about that?
Yeah, I do know
Yeah,
about
he was
that.
the best.
He was like, he's considered like a hero in that country.
He was imprisoned because of a feud that his father had
Yeah.
when he was like 14 or whatever, and his dad was like the prince of like Valencia or something, or whatever the fuck that was. I forget. That's not it at all. But that's in kind of orange.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But he was whatever he was. I forget. We've got a YouTube video on it out.
We did like a whole episode about him.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, he
And
was like he fucking killed a lot of people, but he also did some good fucking
Turks.
shit.
And the Turkish king or whatever had imprisoned him and his brother became like a loyal servant of the guy that imprisoned him, and then Vlad the Impaler just like went along with it until he could get enough trust to escape, and then he went back to his homeland and took back the throne, you know.
Yeah,
in
no,
big
he was a
bloody coup and
badass.
stuff. Yeah, he was cool as fuck.
Everyone makes him sound like a crazy fuck that just like killed people, but he was actually like a good
He had every
ruler.
reason. He was tortured as a kid by
Yeah,
the, by
no,
that
but he
government.
actually like did good things for his country.
Yeah. The soldiers came. We actually talked about it on the show about how he was probably sodomized quite a bit.
Well,
he spent a lot of time as a kid in a dungeon.
Yeah.
And he was most likely raped a lot.
Well, yeah.
Which would explain the revenge tactic of impaling people through their anuses when they came to it. Seriously.
It's also kind of just a badass way to kill a person.
I don't know, dude. He did it a lot. You would think
I
that
did.
would be like, all right, you guys.
Well, once you get started in that
You guys
vein,
want to play
like,
around with buttholes? New rule. You want to fuck me in the ass? Then 30 years later, when you invade my country, I'll shove a wooden stake so far up there that you won't know what hit you, sonny boy. Now what, smart pants Turks?
Have you seen that torture device that's a giant stone pyramid that they just sit a person on top of and
Yeah,
wait
we've
until
seen
their
that.
body splits apart?
We've done all this stuff. We've done everything.
I'm sorry, I haven't been paying attention to what you've been doing.
Yeah, when they would just take a guy and like splay his legs apart
Ugh, the horse?
and lower him onto a fucking pyramid up his butt hole.
That's rough.
Up his butt hole.
I,
David Box has just walked in the room.
what?
Is he
He's
getting our
not
mic?
He doesn't have a mic yet. He's rolling around with the dog.
Well, tell him to get over there.
He can hear you. You can tell him.
Dogs are not that important.
He'll listen to you.
How can he hear me?
He came in and turned up the speaker so that he could hear you.
No, that's not optimal conditions for our recording process.
Can you hear it?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's very quiet and very far away from me.
All right.
I can't hear it.
Hello.
Is he coming or what?
Yeah.
Is he coming?
Just give it a minute. He'll be here. I just wanted you to get ready.
That's really good instincts to just announce something that's not happening. That's good.
The cook that works during the day shift does that all the time. He rings the bell about 30 to 45 seconds before he's actually ready to give me the food. I know this isn't interesting to anyone, but it's very irritating.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, and so I just stand there while I could be doing other things, waiting for him to hand me the food.
We should kill him.
We should. Ugh, I think about it all the time. Where's David
I'm just
Box?
proving that, like, if I don't carry it, that
No.
bitches
No.
ain't shit.
You know what? All right, Andrea, would you like to have a conversation with me?
Yeah, let's see what that's like. Go ahead.
I don't think that this is gonna go
No,
well.
this is going to go great. No, because I like you and we can talk about things. Hey, friend. How are you today?
I drank. I told you I was gonna get drunk, and then I didn't.
I know you didn't. How much of that did you actually drink?
Darcy's wasted.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
am.
know. That's why I'm
Shut
saying.
up.
Because she's trying to have a conversation.
Hey, we're two drunk girls, right?
Yeah.
I like you. You know what?
Oh, this is what's happening? Because you know what? I could go eat some food instead. I don't
Good.
know.
Wow. Yeah, good one. Cool.
I'm hungry. And this
Don't
is,
do it.
I
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
no, I shouldn't. How much of that did you actually drink?
I drank one bottle of cider and no Fireball.
Why didn't you at least try to
I
mix the
looked at it.
Fireball into the cider?
Because that's not good.
It's not. You're right. Well, that's great. I moved my mic around just to make Vinny angry.
I'm just proving a point here.
Okay, well, I mean, we're having a little break time, having a nice discussion, waiting for David Box to mic up. You know, it's not
Hey.
terrible. Hey, look, there he is.
Hey, it's me.
Hey.
Hi, David Box.
Hey, I don't have any headphones, so you're going to have to speak up, Vinny.
Hi, David Box.
Can't hear you, Vinny. You're going to have to speak up.
What's going on over there? Why doesn't he have headphones?
If I had another 2 minutes, I could make it so.
Do it.
It just seemed like things are pretty urgent.
No. And Darcy was showing us.
Oh, Andrea.
Darcy was showing us that her and Andrea could have an engaging discussion.
Andrea, Vinny and I
Oh,
the
okay,
other
then
day
just give me
decided
a
to
minute.
get in the car and just drive. And we kept driving south.
Yeah, we did. I
And-
wanted to go to the end.
Oh, I thought that Andrea and I were having a conversation.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, Andrea, we were driving south, and there was basically nothing but oil refineries and, like, you know, factory-looking things like that. And we kept driving and driving, and we finally found Fort Jackson. Have you heard
Wait.
of Fort Jackson?
I actually
looked
have.
at it.
I actually have some audio from our car trip.
Oh, good.
Hold on.
Yeah, it was Vinny beating me.
Yeah. Wait. There's some other clips I have. Here.
That's what I sound like when
Yeah.
I'm getting hit in the face. You should see the damage.
I like this one.
That was the one where I was actually having a nice time
Right.
while he was hitting me.
That was as nice as that day got.
No,
Well,
it
go
was,
on, I'm
it
sorry.
was lovely. Sand.
Sorry to interrupt.
And I
Hey,
was just
Fort
telling you that we had a nice time. We went to this place called Fort Jackson. This is an old fort, and we looked around, and there was these small stone rooms built into this hill that I believe were originally meant for ammunition storage. And every time we started to go into one, there were giant hornets' nests, and Vinny had a large problem with that. would not go in.
That's smart. That's evolution for you.
Yeah.
Stay away from hornets.
Well, I mean, if you walk fast enough past them. No.
I love this. Like, Darcy can't make an attempt at conversation if it isn't belittling me.
Yeah, no, because
like-
I hate you,
Right.
to be honest. I just don't like you at all.
You're
What
just
else do all
pathetic.
of us have in common?
No, I know, but like she's trying to make it seem weird
No.
that I wouldn't want to like walk into a closed tunnel full of hornets.
There was
like,
she's
like, well,
there was
Vinny had a
one
little problem with
hornet's
going.
nest.
Vinny had a little problem with going into a closed tunnel.
I would
full
have
of-
gone. I was ready to go in there.
You never said anything about going in there at
yeah,
all.
but you wouldn't go in there.
Why didn't you go in there?
Because it's dark and scary. Not
See,
because of the hornets.
Not
This
the
is
horn.
why women can't do this. Like you're just. I mean, this is just doesn't make any sense. Like you have no fucking foundation to what you're saying. Like it just morphs. Anytime anyone's gonna like tell you what you're saying is bullshit, then you just morph it to something else. It makes no sense.
It makes sense if
No,
you
it doesn't.
actually
No, it absolutely
wanted
doesn't.
to.
No, it absolutely doesn't.
If you
It's
wanted to, it does.
retarded.
Okay, that's fine. I know. We had a nice time. It was pretty. There was a moat.
What are
Vinny thought-
words anyway?
We were talking about alligators. That's about it. But now David Box is here, and so we don't have to do this anymore. Hello, David.
No, but I
Box.
just do want to point out that
That
her
went
attempt
really
at
well.
her attempt at making conversation was to say that I was a pussy because I wouldn't go into an enclosed area full of hornets.
It wasn't full of hornets.
Well,
Yes, it was, dude.
Oh, wait.
No.
I would also like to point out that of the people currently in this conversation, Vinny's the only one that I'm aware of that almost died from an encounter with a bug. So he's allowed to be afraid of bugs.
No, he's not.
Right. Okay.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah,
So,
good point.
how many whores can you catch with a hornet?
You suck. Dick.
Well,
Yeah, sorry.
glad you're here, David Box. Thanks for joining us.
How many cultures can you with a horticulture?
Oh.
No.
You stumbled a little bit.
That was the
Sorry.
point. Shut up.
Is it just going to come down to you and me doing sound effects again?
I guess. I don't know. What else is going on,
I'm cut-
Andrea?
I'm-
Andrea always forgets she's supposed to, her function on the show is supposed to be to like kind of direct things and keep things on track, but it just, I don't know.
Should we talk about France?
You said he.
What?
Well, Vinny said he specifically had things he wanted to wait to talk about from when
Oh,
David Box was here.
God.
So figured you would.
Bitches ain't shit.
No, it's all our
Take-
fault, Andrea.
Yeah.
It's all our fault. I would like to talk about France.
Yeah, you
If
got
that's
that.
interesting to
Well,
you at
David
all.
Box, we saved the Jew stuff for you.
Yeah, you want to talk about
Oh,
Jews,
sweet.
David Box?
You're welcome.
Are you interested in some Jews making some money?
Does this answer your question? Oh, wait, Jews making money? No. Sorry. I thought you were going a way different direction with that.
No.
All right.
Okay. How are the Jews making
Start talking and talk fast, you lousy bum.
Well, apparently, the surviving Jews from the Holocaust have been trying to sue the French railroad system that transported them to the, whoa, shit. I am
Death
way too
camps.
drunk for that. Thank you, Andrea. You're
Yeah,
right on the ball.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. This is a thing that happens. Okay, so they've been trying to sue them for money because they were the purpose of them getting there. So now France has decided to give $60 million to survivors of the death camps for that purpose, even though the actual railroad system is not involved. But so France apparently is.
What in God's holy name
yeah.
are you blathering about?
I don't know. I started talking. No one else kept talking with me, so I just kept going.
Someone interrupt me, please.
Please do that. No, France is giving $60 million to Holocaust survivors because they happen to be transported by a French train system. That's it.
Right, while they were occupied by Germany.
While they were occupied Germany. So yeah, basically Germany said, we're going to use your train. And now
They didn't say shit. They said
70 years later, France is like, oh, well, we're sorry that our train made you go to a death camp. Here's $60 million. But the weird thing is that actually France is supplying the money, but they're giving it to the United States to manage. So we're basically in charge of where this money goes.
No, they're only giving it to the United States to manage giving it to the Americans.
Oh, see, yeah, okay. They didn't specify that. They just said that the French were financing and the United States were managing.
Yeah, they're going to give it to the governments of countries with affected people. They said that it was 76,000 people were deported from France on the railway system, and of those 76,000, allegedly 3,000 survived. So
okay,
I guess the 3,000 are fairly concentrated still in certain areas.
Are they have to be like old as fuck.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Is like, how many of those people are actually like? There's only 3,000 left, and they're getting $60 million. I think they broke it down to $100,000 per person.
That's like,
for something that
all of them are already making a bunch of money on the books that they wrote about it. This is like one of the most Jew things you could possibly do.
Yep.
I was just gonna say those fucking.
Damn, I don't have a bleeper.
Oh.
See,
you should really get on that. That's pretty good.
Son of a.
That doesn't quite work right.
No.
No, it's terrible. Anyway,
David, what? Never mind. Sorry.
these Jews. That's was there a trial, or was France immediately just like, you know what, you're right?
They settled.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
somebody tried to.
Yeah, there were multiple lawsuits that were in action against them for transporting the Jews on their train system, and this is how they're getting out of those lawsuits.
Why now is this happening? Like, did they run out of money?
No, they finally have enough money to get the fight this fight.
It
to
seems
get them
like
more money.
It seems like such a weird time to be doing that. It
You want to
seems
know
like
what I think? I think
What's
the need more money to get the riled up again.
I'm super jealous. I'm gonna work on that. I need a better device.
No, I
Damn.
don't know. I don't know why this is happening right now at all, but because it seems like it should have happened long ago. But the thing is that the actual train system that everyone wants to sue is not paying this money out. It's the French government that's paying this out. Everyone's upset about this train system that transported the Jews to the death camps, and that's what they're suing. But the actual French government is the one that's paying this money out. So the train system is like, well, we'll give you $6 million and we'll build a monument. That's what they're doing. And then the French government is giving $60 million.
Wait, David Box, what this made me think of, and we've dipped into it a little bit with our talks on Holocaust revision and things like that, is that how many of these have there been over the last 70 years or whatever? How many of these have there been that there's like, they're making millions at every turn based on this idea that specifically Jews were persecuted and no one else. You know what I mean? And that it's the greatest atrocity ever of all time, and that if you oppose any reparations to it, they really created that climate through the media and movies and everything, that like there's all kinds of Native Americans asking for money, and everybody in society kind of just brushes it off like, those fucking or like those fucking or whatever people fucking call Native Americans, and you know what I mean? So we just kind of brush them off to the side like that, and meanwhile these fucking these fucking laugh their way all the way to the bank. And You know what I mean by that though? Like, there's all these other fucking to get serious for a minute. There's all these other genocides and stuff where people are really seeking for reparations, but the fucking Jewish Holocaust is the only one that if you oppose it, you're a Nazi scumbag. Blah, you know.
Well, and
like,
other people than Jewish people were persecuted in the Holocaust, and nobody ever talks about them.
right, like the
Yeah, those guys. They're suffering too.
Which one was that?
Oh, you
I'm
know.
using my imagination, but
you know the
Yeah.
the C's.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't say that.
No. I actually got yelled at by a person for saying gypsy one day.
Oh really?
No, I said I got gypped.
Nasty.
I got
What the
I said I got
fuck?
gypped out of this, and this girl went,
Jesus.
that's really insensitive to say because gypsy is like an politically correct term to
Was she a
use.
nigger?
She was actually a redheaded Jew. So
I'm sorry, I missed the answer. She was a gypsy?
she was a redheaded Jew. I felt like I needed to put in that she was redheaded, but she felt like me saying I got gypped out of something was completely inappropriate. One of those people.
What are you supposed to say?
One of those Jews.
I
you
just
mean.
looked at her and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, why don't you go suck fuck, my beef is in here. Anyways,
There we go.
we had that whole argument on the show before because there was that DIY house that actually changed the name of their venue/house because people said gypsy was a racist word.
It is.
It's just out of control, dude.
Supposedly.
No, it isn't.
Well, it depends on who
Can
you talk
please
to.
talk in your mic? Yeah, it depends if you talk to somebody who's looking for things to be offended by or if you talk to a normal person. Because
Well, if you're talking to a person who is descended from gypsies in England, they find it very offensive. But if you talk to a person descended from gypsies in America, they thrive on it.
Well-
and love it.
and that's the thing is like, you know, you want to re-empower a word that nobody even knows is offensive, like,
Yeah.
and give it now a negative connotation that people who are hateful can use. There are
Well, I mean, listen to
When I looked in the
it
Yellow
is a
Pages-
negative word.
no.
When you say I got gypped out of something, that's negative.
words,
Is that the origin of that word, though?
That's not the origin of it, but that's what
Right.
it's turned into. It's saying that gypsies are con artists, and it's a negative
but
issue.
what
It's a
you're
negative
saying,
thing.
what you're basically saying,
I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm just saying that I can see where they're coming from.
that's like saying, you know, Jew is an offensive term because it's possible to say I was Jewed out of some money.
Yeah, I think
is.
in maybe like 40 years we'd get to that point.
Well, whatever. Jew is not an offensive word. That's the name of the fucking. That's what you call a fucking. You know, that's what you call a fucking. Son of a bitch. That's what you call
a
a fuck.
non-Gentile.
That's what you call it when nobody else is around.
Yeah.
I mean,
how
when people are
often are-
around. Fuck, God, I really couldn't have fucked that up worse. Jesus. Anyways, that's a perfect fucking. I think that's a perfect analogy I just made. So just because you can use a word derogatively, now the word is a derogative term. That's retarded.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing as saying that nigger is a derogatory term because
No,
originally.
absolutely, it's not.
Well,
No, you're talking. It's the opposite actually, because nigger started out as a derogatory term.
But
And
so did
Nigger
gypsy.
started out
No,
as
it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Will you please talk
Nigger.
in your mic?
The
You
original
have to talk in the
definition.
mic. You have to point your mouth right at it.
Gypsy has been a derogatory term from the beginning. People just forgot about it.
Oh, I thought you were making the opposite point then.
No. Why would? No, I'm just saying that.
And
What? Andrew?
Is it just me, or was it said that the term, like the negative connotation, came later? That's what I thought was said.
No,
because
I'm
of the
pretty
term
sure that it
gypped.
was already a negative term, and that people just kind of used it like they used to say nigger in a normal everyday conversation, even though it was derogatory.
Gypsy's just not as strong, dude. There's so many people that
No, that's because
self-apply
there
the term
aren't as many
proudly.
gypsies around to be mad about it.
Well, I guess that's true with nigger too. They self-apply the term proudly in some cases.
Well, and there's more of them to
Black-
get mad at you.
Black man.
Like you can say gypsy all day long, and there's not a gypsy around to get mad about it. You say
Whatever.
nigger,
So what's a gypsy?
and
if you're
someone's
so
going to
smart?
get mad about it.
Who does gypsy refer to?
Well, actually, it's a heritage. There's like a line of gypsies. I'm not sure what they're actually called other than gypsy, but it's a heritage. It's like
Right.
a
And I'm asking
nationality.
you, do you know where they're from?
Well, there's Irish gypsies and English gypsies.
No.
Yeah, I've watched it on TLC. Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, but that is not the end all be all of where the gypsy culture comes from. I'm pretty sure. I thought it was fucking like Armenian or something.
Europe, parts of North Africa, North America, South Asia.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's not what TLC says.
Well, that's why, that's why I'm asking.
Well,
because
I'm talking about the people who are who recognize themselves as
the people
gypsies
who are
at this
fucking
moment.
cunts and want to be offended about things are probably in those countries.
The people
yeah.
who live in trailers and go around doing asphalt is what I'm talking about.
Or trying to kidnap people.
They don't.
Yes, they do.
Not anymore. That's the Asians Shanghaiing people.
No, I'm talking. Whatever. Fuck, that was supposed to be.
And also, I do want to point out that the word nigger originally was not used to describe a person of color. It was used to describe a person who was ignorant. And then it was
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at
and
to begin with.
turned into a racial slur.
Right. Yeah.
I like that. Can we go back to the original?
No, we can't. I
would
want to, but
love
you
to
can't.
go back and just be like, God, that stupid nigger talking about a white guy.
David Box is niggardly. That was the word. That boy's niggardly.
Yeah. Well,
Niggardly.
he's not, but
No, niggard. Niggardly. Niggardly. You'll see that in old books.
I'm pretty sure I read a couple books.
They
in
want us
grade
to
school
stop
where
calling niggers niggers and start referring to them as grows. Sorry.
Oh, I was saying that in grade school there were many books where they whited out niggardly, and everyone just scratched the white out off.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that a lot in old books, yeah.
No, in our grade school they went through every book and whited it out with whiteout, so you couldn't possibly read it
Did they
or know
really?
what they were saying. Yeah, and everyone just scratched it off anyways.
Niggardly.
Niggardly.
Yeah,
I like-
I haven't seen that word in a long time.
It's because you never read.
they changed the name of Nigger Jim in Huck Finn.
Really?
In new printings of the book, it's not there.
It just says Jim.
Nagger Jim.
Or Slave Jim.
But
like-
that's not the same thing.
When you
He
read
wasn't a slave. He was like.
And the other thing was, I read that stuff when I was a kid, and there was a really powerful message to that whole thing. It wasn't like they were just calling somebody Nigger Jim just to be fucking mean. The whole point of the whole thing is characters throughout the book that the writer, Samuel Clemens, he gets you to like the characters, and they casually refer to this guy as Nigger Jim, and that goes on, and then him and Huck Finn are on the raft together. You guys remember this? Mm-hmm. And they're
Yes.
they're going down the river, and he calls him Nigger Jim, and they have that big and he gets mad, and he tells him off and tells him, "You're the nigger here. If I want to throw you off this boat, I'll just do it." And it was a great fucking statement on how that kind of oppression works. Is like when you're the big strong guy in a situation, yeah, you'll call people whatever you want, but now look what's going on. Now you're the fucking nigger, and you're gonna treat me well,
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Like that it was just a great setup to a great point of being like, you can only get away with treating these people because it's treating these people poorly because it's sanctioned by society and because the power structure still approves of it.
Yeah, and I don't understand this mentality of wiping these things from history is supposed to be comforting to the people that they
But what I'm
affected.
saying, even more than that, what I'm saying is the point was actually very valuable. You know, if you oppose racism, that was a great point that he made through the writing of that story.
No, definitely. It by
God,
taking.
that's
Calm
but
down.
this is what you know. That's just the point. Is that it was.
No, by erasing these things, you're making it not important anymore.
See, that's kind of how I feel. And like, why since it was so important and progressive and powerful, why is it comforting to any black person who wouldn't want it printed there for it to be removed?
No, it's not comforting for the black person. It's comforting for the white person to
Who
know that they're
feels
not
guilty.
forcing the black kid to read it.
Right.
Yeah, no, the black people probably appreciate the sentiment. The white people are afraid of being in charge of making black kids read it.
Right,
And they
being
don't
responsible
want,
for it, yeah.
Nobody wants to sit there and go, "Hey, read this word, kid." You know, like
The teacher might as well just call him a nigger.
exactly. That's the sentiment. It has nothing to do with the black people. It's all about the white people. And that's what's like fucking stupid about it.
Although I don't know, I think that's true to a large degree, but I bet there was plenty of black people that
Yeah.
stood on a soapbox and this word has done enough damage in our culture.
But like
Really, because do you know what? If you just were
Oh,
able
wait.
to, if you were just able to tally up niggers that have been said, hold on, just let's just
wanted to hear you say that.
let's just tally up, you know, the amount of times people have said the word nigger. Do you think it's been said more by white people or more by black people?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Definitely.
Like, come on, dude. Let's stop fucking around. It's not. Words aren't inherently harmful, too. That's another thing that needs to be said. Is like, there's no such thing as a word that is just inherently bad. Words can be used, right, to convey thoughts and emotions which might be hurtful to someone else, but they can also just be used. Like, we're having right now a discussion on the word nigger. Nobody is saying that guy over there is a fucking piece of shit because he's a nigger. You see
Not
that?
yet, anyway.
yeah.
Not yet. Because we don't talk about sports.
I talked.
But
I did talk about doing that to a friend, though. A white.
you
Remember
see-
when Nick was general?
No, what are you saying?
When back when we were talking about the word nigger just meaning ignorant, I did
Yeah.
say to a white person hypothetically that he was a nigger.
Was he upset about it?
I don't know. I stopped
Yes.
imagining.
That is a thing I've heard so many racist white people say, though, that is hilarious. Is like, no, I'm just talking about niggers. I know all black people aren't niggers. I mean, there's white niggers, too. It's like that
Yeah.
that redneck cop-out they always do when they could tell you're uncomfortable. Like, you know, just like niggers like dumb people. Like, no, you're not.
You don't type.
Right.
But I have definitely heard that argument from black people. Like, there's black people and there's niggers.
That's a Chris Rock bit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which one it was. Which one?
Which one of them?
Which one of those?
Yeah. Which boo did that fucking bit about niggers?
They also removed the word engine from Huckleberry Finn.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
In-
what purpose does it serve to change a historical book? Like, what?
Well, and that's the thing, too, is Mark Twain had the kind of foresight and intelligence that I have no doubt in my mind that he was making a social commentary on the use of those words. So, I mean,
Right.
so how is that bad? So right now,
Because people are
that's
too dumb
basically
to
like
infer
saying
that for themselves.
people that spoke out and wrote about like anti-gay stuff. who have like written in stories or whatever about people calling somebody a faggot at school or something like that. Is that going to one day need to be removed because we as a society have been removed so far from the intelligent conversation that was happening at the time that now we just can't handle the single word anymore?
Honestly, yeah, it seems like that's the
that's gonna
direction
be
things are
terrible.
going in.
Yeah.
It's too
We're all
harmful.
no. There's going
We
to be
can't
no real words anymore. It's all going to be just he and she.
There's
that's
only
the-
just the was.
Shim.
This was that, and there'll be no descriptions of anything anymore because no one can handle it. You
Because of
can't
the
label
Jews.
anything.
Thanks, Jews. Andrea, wait. That's a great fucking hashtag we could start. Just thanks, Jews.
Thanks, Jews.
We should start that.
Are you sure that hasn't
Yeah.
already been started?
I don't know. Let's do it. It's easy to check if a hashtag has anything going on. Let's do thanks, Jews, this week.
Thanks,
All right, you
Jews.
got it. Hashtag thanks, Jews.
And we'll be checking that. If anybody listens to the show and wants to post some stuff with the hashtag thanks, Jews, we'll check it out for the next show, and we'll give you credit. That's this week's hashtag.
It's perfect. There are some existing posts if you guys want to get the ball rolling on your own.
Is there really? Who's
I
posting
knew
under
it.
thanks,
I
Jews?
knew it.
Are you serious? That's hilarious.
The Pro Defamation League.
Oh my god! What is that? Is that a Facebook page?
Yeah.
The
let's
Pro
see. Their most recent
Defamation
post-
League.
Yeah, their most recent post was a video titled "Israeli Officer to Palestinian Refugees Will Gas You. Children, elderly, will kill you all." Let's see. We also have some political cartoon that looks stupid. White Man March 2015.
I wanted to do that. The
Yeah, a lot of Pro Defamation League. Mostly Pro Defamation League.
and they use the hashtag thanks, Jews.
Yeah, and
All right,
also
well,
let's
now
see,
we're-
White
we're-
Genocide Memes 3.
Okay, we're using that hashtag all the time from now on. Hold on, I'm trying to look up.
All
this.
right, it's ours. We're harnessing it.
Meryl Streep is. I went to Pro Defamation League. Oh, this is a different website, but the first thing I saw was a picture of Meryl Streep. I just thought that was kind of.
Darcy's drunk.
Yeah, I am drunk. So what? I'm still at least able to Google things appropriately.
I didn't go to a thanks, Jews. I Googled Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
She's so
No, there's like
pretty
a
in like a
little.
weird way.
Autocorrect.
There's a picture of like a super Jewy looking caricature, and then underneath that is a picture of Meryl Streep. I just thought that was funny. Never mind.
Barbara Streisand.
What?
Is Meryl Streep a super Jew or anti-Jew?
Meryl Streep blasts Walt Disney for sexist and anti-Semitic stances.
Yeah, I was gonna guess she was a super Jew.
No, yeah. She's against.
But she's an anti-Jew.
No,
An anti-Jew?
she's a super Jew. She's anti-Semitic. Not anti-Semitic is what I meant to say.
Oh, I see.
Pro-Semitic.
She's pro-Semitic.
Damn, Pro Defamation
Jew.
League on Facebook. Holly hoax. That's their
Yeah, they're out.
That's their big photoshopped Hollywood sign in the hills. Says Holly hoax.
It says holy hoax,
Or Holy
actually.
hoax. Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure they meant Holly hoax.
What are these guys about, Andrea?
They're pretty anti-Jew, it seems.
Andrea, I mean, come on. You're just click on the about tab or something. What is going on?
I
with
had
these
already
guys?
clicked away from it.
They
Combating-
sound like
Combating
kinda guys.
anti-whiteism, Jewish lies, exploitation, and forms of bigotry through information, education, and legislation and advocacy.
All right. Sounds
That's-
pretty good so far. What kind of photos do they post?
Let's see. I just keep seeing a lot of like super like Jewy pictures, like caricatures.
Here's Ronald McDonald Heil Hitlering.
Here's a picture of a black guy and a white guy. And above the white guy, it says misogynist. And above the black guy, it says not a misogynist. And then under the white guy's picture, it says loves you for who you are, will treat you well, will spend money on you, will comfort you if you're feeling down, will help you raise a kid or pay for an abortion if he gets you pregnant. And then under the black guy, it says loves you for your ass and tits, will call you his bitch, will use you for booze money, will take advantage of you if you're feeling down, will immediately abandon you if he gets you pregnant. Darcy.
I know. That
Darcy,
sounds
I think
terrible.
I think I'm confused about what color I am. All of a sudden.
Wait, but baby, you said you loved me.
What did I say I loved? See, think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Shit. I should have kept taking the pill.
What else do they have? Here's one that says World War must be between... Or no. The Third World War must be fomented between the Christians and the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and Christianity mutually destroy each other, leaving the political Zionists in control. There's a picture of some Jew saying that.
Could this be a trolling site?
It doesn't look like
Are they
it.
for real?
Yeah, it looks pretty real. It looks pretty real. And that's the funny thing about stuff like this is we probably agree with a lot of it.
We Jews are teaching that we are not white anymore. We are Jewish.
Not these memes, but we probably agree with some of their points.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Well, they did have the hashtag of thanks Jews.
We did
They
think of
obviously
that.
have somebody thinking the right way.
So we're doing that now, right?
Yeah, that's ours. Forget you guys, Pro Defamation League.
You know
Well, they're
what's-
probably going to reach out to us.
It is calling Alex
Maybe we
Jones.
can get one of them to be a guest.
Talk into your mic, please. What?
Just trying not to cut anyone
ahead.
off.
You're just
there-
talking into the room.
It's just there's a picture of Alex Jones as an Illuminati agent,
What does that look like?
like this. Alex Jones and Molly Maroney, Illuminati agents.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, well, a man bombed Walmart in Mississippi because he was mad that they stopped selling Confederate flags.
Did that work out well for him?
No, he failed. His bomb was a piece of shit, and it caused almost no damage, and nobody was harmed, especially because he was real cryptically warning people to get away from the area before the bomb went off.
Well, that was nice of him. You know.
Yeah, he told one employee, you better
run.
Yeah. And the bomb just didn't cause any damage.
Yeah, it just made they said it just made a loud sound.
Yeah.
But did you say he also, I think he posted on Facebook about what he was going to do beforehand
Yeah, he made it very clear.
and all the reasons and stuff.
Yeah, let's see. He made a threat to the Daily Journal that said, Journal Corporate, you're on final warning. You're part of the problem. As a result of this, y'all are going down along with Walmart, WTVA, Reed's Department Store, and all the rest of the anti-American crooks. I'm not kidding. No messing around anymore. What a crazy...
Yeah.
You know, when I first read this article, I wrote a note down about, I thought about how very, very crazy it was that this man would turn to violence over the inability to purchase a Confederate flag at any of those places or the message it sends. And I kind of assumed that if it weren't for the internet, he would never feel like he could do that. Right? Do we all kind of agree on that?
Yeah, I guess. So what? What's your point?
Well, I was weirdly comforted by the idea that people this crazy can harness the power of the internet and social media and do something this crazy, because it means that people who are not going to do horrible shit can do the same thing. It made me feel like he was so empowered. It inspired me a little bit.
All right.
Not to blow up a Walmart.
Right. Not to blow up a
But you
McDonald's.
see what I'm getting at.
Sure.
And then he was caught. Actually, this is what's really hilarious: is he had like a bunch of crazy rebel flags. He had a 4-foot Mississippi flag hanging off of his car, and he was speeding away from the scene and ran a red light and got pulled over. And that's how he got caught.
Yeah. No, when I first read that, I was like, this can't be real. There's no way this is real. But yeah, that was real. He covered his car in Confederate flags to do this.
Do you think he changed anybody's mind? Do you think Walmart's going to start selling Confederate flags now?
Dude, yeah, you come back the next day, they're just fucking huge displays all over the front of the store.
They just like dumped a pile of them to cover up the place where the bomb was.
Are people still trying to say that was a Confederate battle flag?
Yeah, that's what everybody calls it, even though that's not what it was.
Yeah, because every state had their own battle flag, right? And
right.
This particular one was a Virginia battle flag. And they're still trying to act like this has something to do with the Civil War or something. And like,
yeah, well, it has in a way become a symbol of the South in general, but it's also like really widely used on like the Mississippi flag has the stars and bars within it. So I think it's maybe kind of like a common thread through a lot of their flags, which is why it's become such a universal symbol over time. But this guy had the Mississippi flag, which just had the stars and bars inside of it, but was a different flag. And also he had the regular Confederate flag.
Where did he get it, though?
He must have already had it. You know, if he was so concerned about not being able to get another flag, he shouldn't be attaching them to the outside of his car.
Yeah, respect the flag.
Fucking don't. Yeah, hang it all over your stupid. What kind of car did he have, anyways? Some stupid
It was
little
a pickup truck.
Yeah,
I'm telling you now, it was a pickup truck.
It's just not up for debate. It definitely was.
Silver Mazda.
Your shitty Mazda, getting your flags all dirty.
Your shitty flags with your shitty bombs.
Yeah, shitty bombs and shitty flags and a shitty fucking plan.
Stupid nigger.
Saying what you're gonna do. Yeah, he was probably black, right?
Stupid white supremacist nigger.
Oh, okay. I see where you guys are going. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was definitely black.
This was a very niggardly attack.
Yeah.
It really was.
We're taking it back.
Anyways, I bet dollars to donuts that the put him up to it.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Do you guys want to come back and just fuck around, or do we got anything else to do, or no? We need to take a break real quick.
That was actually everything, I think.
Well, since David Box just got here, so for people who like us to talk about real stuff, I guess it's time for you to go. And then when we come back, we could just have some fun for a while. Do you guys want to do that or no?
Hold on. We had an errand that we had to run by midnight. Do we still have to do that?
I think, well, I could. Can we do it? We can do it in the morning.
What
famous last words?
Do we? I think we can.
All right.
Do we have any food?
Are we coming back or no?
No. Quick.
What should we do for food?
are you guys? What are you guys eating? I'm hungry.
All right, guys. We only got a second here.
There's
Ready?
no food.
Are we coming back or not?
No.
No, I don't think we can.
We can't.